J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. The program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue.
Yo, how's it going today? Hey, welcome Jeremy, welcome Mike. Oh, we got an interesting stream going on today. We pushed the Kinoflex Simon and Jan debate forward to this evening. We'll be getting to that probably around 10. It's whenever Simon gets off work and gets home. We'll jump in there. We'll bring them in and we'll go ahead and get that started. But first, we're going to go over some of the newest updates in the Alyssa Mercante case. They have updated their uh, documents to basically add some very interesting things, some very interesting discovery from from what's the word from Smash's side, some things that are said, and some like everything that comes out here just makes him look worse and worse. Even if, say, some miracle of God, he comes out of this case unscathed, his reputation is absolutely falling into the dirt. Now, there's always going to be the people that follow him no matter what, you know what I mean? But seeing what's been going on here lately, it's kind of nuts, man. It is kind of nuts. So let's see here. Hold on, I'm trying to set this up 90%, 90%. Yeah, that's good, good, good. Boop, boop. I like to have my game in the background. I may play it, I may not. It always depends. Always depends on what's going on. There we go. There we go. All hail Almighty. So I got to 1,000 on my last playthrough, 1,000 people, and then I was kind of like it wasn't uniform enough. Things were kind of falling apart a little bit, food production and everything like that, and it would have taken a lot longer to fix it to go higher. So I started a new colony. I have been on point with this game. Like I have been loving this game, trying to make everything work. I don't know why I like these management games, because I can't manage most shit to save my life. But I have a lot of fun with these. A lot of fun. So, I've been going through the document. I don't want to read the whole thing again. Some of it is stuff like this is the original document. She's just added to it. Like there's this whole section right here that we're in about jurisdictional facts. You should try Rattopia once you get tired of this game. Yeah, I will. I will. Put it. I don't know if you've put it in the indie games section or not, but put it in there. I'll take a look. There's a couple that I haven't downloaded that I've like wanted to play. The one with the beavers I thought was interesting. Clearly chose to use Alyssa's to promote his inclusion. Let's see. I'm kind of having to go through this Smashjt website. This is all jurisdictional stuff. I mean, this is going to be boring, in my opinion, with them trying to connect Hypnotic to Jeff and Jeff to New York through his websites and things like that. So I'll save y'all this stuff. Brief history of Gamergate. Do not care. Fined several times during jurisdiction award. Yeah, no kidding. Like he's already been like him and no, or is it just Ron Coleman that was fined? Either way. It's crazy to see all the fines that have already gone out, and we haven't even gotten past discovery. And it looks like we're going to California anyways, just like we said. Which they never disproved jurisdiction. They never got that far. Smash's team, Ron Coleman and Smash, have been purposefully fighting this discovery, which some people have said is like the norm. Yeah, the fines for leaking the bank account were specifically targeted to Ron specifically. Yes. Everything else was just to Smash. Let's keep going. Where's the new stuff? Yes, bullying is good. Like Alyssa Mercante. Oh yeah, this is where they're saying this is Discord stuff. We need to search the archive for the marriage certificate for Alyssa's failed marriage. Tomorrow, Mercante night. Yeah, I remember all of this. Smash reacting to she's like a content mind. I will lay off Mercante jokes for the foreseeable future. Sounds good to you? Uh, I honestly don't care. Yep, we've seen this. I genuinely can't believe this lawsuit is still going. It's like Smash's team is dragging it out. They could have gotten to at least where they would have gotten discovery, right? They could have at least gotten discovery on it and just said, gone to there. But they've been pushing to not put stuff out to the point that they got fined for it. And here we are, what is like a year and a half, 2 years later, we're still on this. And I don't know that it's going to be any shorter when they get to California, because I don't think he has a case for slap. There's too much stuff that could be taken as malicious that's come out recently. Okay, here we go. Here's some of the new stuff. Past month, previously being a hooker, Tarzi specifically changed the sentence generated by ChatGPT to read, Alyssa Mercante, known for her unique, unapologetic style, has become a symbol. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Okay. An example of the prior complaint. Tarzi knew the image was altered. Yeah, this image was altered. The message from this meme. It's insane how much they try to stall discovery just for Ron to release everything without reading the shit. I know, right? And then for them to like dox Hypnotic's name. And I mean, it's been like blunder versus blunder that you've seen on this case. Like, I can't believe that Ron has some strategy and this is all part of the master plan, right? Tarzia tagged Mercante, consistent with the goal to pick a fight. Yep. Tarzia rapidly got the attention he sought. The tweet achieved tens of thousands of views and hundreds of reposts in a matter of hours. I don't know. And we've seen this one before. Tarzi tagged Marinja pick a fight. As the initial complaint in this case, it had over 300,000 views, 9,000 likes, and more than 800 retweets and quotes. Atreya's Hypnotic, Rev, 8-Bit, and Toasty have all been named IRL in the lawsuit so far. Yep. The following day, Tarzia continued to act consistent with the same goal, producing an article for the Smashjt website. He did so by having ChatGPT write it for him. On April 1st, 2024, Jeff started a new conversation in his personal instance of ChatGPT and prompted it to generate an article to capitalize on the attention garnered from his harassment of Mercante. Jeff is so pathetic. He can't write his own article. Just can't write it whatsoever. Rev got his IRL name dropped in that lawsuit. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if his name got dropped, but I know he was named in it. He may have gotten his name dropped. I'd have to go look at it again. I know when I did it, I censored out a bunch of names just because I didn't want to be the guy posting it online. Not that I have like a big push, and even less so when I was going over this case. But yeah, they had like some people's names was already known. Like Eric's name was already known. I want to say Toasty's name was already out there too. Yeah, Rev was doxed before the lawsuit. Got it. Write an article titled, "This made me go viral. Now everyone hates me." And in the article, talk about how I made a meme of Alyssa Mercante and Stellar Blade, joking about how to reject modernity and embrace traditions. This is Jeff asking ChatGPT to do his work for him because he's a fucking hack. The tweet has garnered nearly 50,000 views in less than 10 hours and has spread like wildfire, over 400 shares so far. Discuss how Alyssa Mercante has embraced looking like a weirdo, and that's totally fine. But we shouldn't cancel attractive women in games just because the game's media and developers can't identify with them. This tweet has opened me up to an entirely new audience, and it is wild to see how many people hate me for it. ChatGPT generated an article, or Tarzia edited the ChatGPT generated article by adding specific factual claims about Mercante. That means he hasn't written like a single thing on his own. His entire website is AI generated. Tarzia specifically changed the sentence generated by ChatGPT, which read, Alyssa Mercante, known for her unique and unapologetic style, has become a symbol of embracing one's individuality, quirks, and all. To instead read, Alyssa Mercante, known for her unique lifestyle, which has come to light over the past month of previously being a hooker that sucks dick for money. How about that? Has become the symbol of embracing one's individuality, quirks, and all. So that's about like that's all he has to add to it, right? Smash should have asked to add Indian to the Alyssa articles. ChatGPT wouldn't have listened to him. He wouldn't have listened to him. And to think that Smash was abusing ChatGPT verbally just it's mwah. That is, Tarzia added the claim that Mercante had previously been a hooker that sucked dick for money. Tarzia, not ChatGPT, added it to the article. He inserted it into the otherwise LLM-generated output provided by ChatGPT. That claim was fabricated, out of a whole cloth. At the time Tarzia inserted those facts, he had no factual basis to assert them. Tarzia ordinarily receives information for his online content through Discord or email, or by finding it on his own, quote unquote. We all know Smash doesn't do research. He only looks at the things that he receives and goes with that. With the complete production of all emails concerning Mercante, Tarzia has no information concerning the fact claims provided by an email. With the complete production of all Discord's tweets and other direct messages, Tarzia has no information concerning these facts and claims provided to him by Discord. With complete production of other communications and relevant documents, Tarzia had no information concerning these facts, these fact claims, and he found on his own. According to the fact claims were fabricated in Tarzia's own mind. And he did so because it's in keeping with planned discussion above. Tarzia believed he needed to continue to escalate his attack on Mercante to attract and keep the attention of his community. Thus he chose to do so by abandoning the relatively how do you pronounce that word? We're gonna look that up here live.
Milk toast.
Oh, milk toast. Is that how it's generally spelled? Timid and feeble. Where was I? Where was milk toast? Smashjt's YouTube channel titled I Went Viral and They Hate Me For It, and covering substantively the same material as the article on the Smashjt website. In this video, he repeated his false and defamatory claim that Mercante had committed the crime of prostitution. He then added more, falsely claiming that the false allegations came from Mercante. Alyssa Mercante has since come forward stating that she used to be a sex worker sucking dick for money before working at Kotaku. Both parts of this claim are false. Mercante has never committed this or any other act of prostitution. Mercante had not, at the time, come forward stating that she has ever engaged in such conduct. Mercante has not done so since then either. Tarzia repeated the claim on Smashjt YouTube channel on May 1st, 2024, where he just really read his own article because the guy doesn't have a fucking lick of talent in his body, right? He just read his own article and fucking that was it. Which wasn't even his words. So, there's that. For example, December 11th, 2024, Tarzia posted a video to the Smashjt YouTube channel in which he defends this claim by showing a tweet from Mercante on April 6, 2024. Quoting a tweet, another Twitter user asking, "How did you get into the gaming industry?" and answering the quote by saying, "I suck dick." While this tweet was displayed on screen, Tarzia stated, "Alyssa, I don't know how else to tell you this, but this is from your Twitter. This is where my post was coming from." April 6, 2024 is later than the time April 1st, 2024. Do you think this lawsuit will set a precedent for what YouTube can and cannot say on platform for content? No, I don't think so. It's possible. I think if it sets a precedent for anything, I believe it's going to set a precedent for online harassment, right? I think that's what it could possibly set a precedent for. Here's the thing, like, regardless of this case, like, we still have a strong First Amendment, and I just don't see this going that way, right? It's possible, but I don't know. 2024 and April 1st, 2024 could not have been where Tarzia's post was coming from. Tarzia was lying about that. Indeed, that tweet was a specific response to Tarzia's public claim made in an attempt with humor to tamp down the effects of Tarzia's defamation, as the duty to mitigate would require. Moreover, when Tarzia cites this tweet as the basis of his belief, he does not include Mercante's own response to her tweet in which she says, "DEI actually stands for Dick Eating Initiative." How about that? She was joking. We already knew this, though. By leaving this response out, Tarzia gives the false impression that Mercante's post could be read by a reasonable reader as being a sincere answer to the question asked. The post was prompted by and responded to Tarzia's false claim, and it's publicly not the other way around. In making the claim in the later in time "I sucked dick" tweet was the source of his claim, Tarzia subjectively and objectively knew the tweet was not the source of his claim. I mean, this is interesting. I wonder how this would go in court, because, like, if it was just saying that she was a whore or she was a prostitute or anything like that, there wouldn't be, like, a basis for this kind of lawsuit. Like, not knowing or just using it derogatory isn't necessarily going to do it. Like, in most cases, you have to prove maliciousness to really get in the case. You have to prove damages and maliciousness. And with a lot of the stuff that has come out, like, things like this, where he was using tweets that were from the past way after he said it, or way after he made his claims, that shows like a malicious action. The ones where he's changing ChatGPT to say that sex work or cam girls are prostitution, that shows very malicious intent. So I mean, it's just to me, it's not looking good. If anything, I think at minimum, it's going to go to court, or Smash is going to have to settle, right? April 6, 2024, and the later, Tarzia is lying about that. Humor. Moreover, when Tarzia cites this tweet as the basis for his belief, he does not include the other part. We already read that. He knew this because he lived through and made the decision to make the claim. In making the claim, the later in time "I suck dick" tweet as the source of his claim, or Geos objectively knew the tweet was not the source of his claim. So he was lying there, right? He knew this because he lived through and made the decision to make the claim, and at the time made the claim "I sucked dick" tweet did not exist. Because Tarzia knew the Mercante's after-the-fact tweet was not the source of his claim, Tarzia necessarily knowingly lied about the source of his claim. Upon information and belief, Tarzia knowingly lied about the source of his claim specifically because he knew he had invented it and wanted to cover up that fact. Although Tarzia has been asked to provide the source of his claim that Mercante made these statements herself, he has never provided a source. He cannot because no source exists. Nothing produced in the extensive discovery procedure to date appears to identify any conceivable source for the claim. The only colorable place it could have come from was embellishing with fiction Perez's statement that the plaintiff knew people in the industry. so fucking 8-Bit Eric making the claim that she knew people in the industry, and then Smash saying that she sucks dick for money, and that's how she made it in the industry. He repeatedly identified it as not just a fact claim, but one he was a special source of authority on. For example, he repeated things like, "We had the tweets to prove it." Tarzia claimed has further been adopted and rebroadcast by many other influencers. As a direct and proximate result of Tarzia's factually false statement about her, Mercante has suffered the following damages: injury to her personal reputation, loss of employment, loss of status and goodwill in the industry she covers, injury to her personal reputation, loss of economic opportunity, loss of income and mental anguish, and other damages detailed. Oh, here's the good stuff. Oh, man. Tarzia then small following expanded because of the harassment and false claims. His previously flat subscriber numbers began to climb almost immediately as soon as shown above. Over the following months, Perez and Tarzia coordinated their harassment of Mercantes. They said provocative, inflammatory things about the plaintiff and coordinated to meticulously time their various tweets, articles about their tweets, videos about their articles, and video responses to each other. Videos in an attempt to ensure that they would each profit off the resulting controversy. She could have probably added loss of life and get away with it since no one is reading this. At least not on the anti-woke side. Only people like me are reading into this case. Oh, and then what do we have? Let's see here. Visible for y'all. Oh, no, that's a little much. Boop. All right. That guy is just as bad as her. I've had my run-ins with him in the past. He's former military, probably doused with Agent Orange. Proof Smashjt hates the military. Huh? What? Well, here's our bait for the next couple of days. We milk him a bit tonight, get him to spurg, and we make content out of it. Love it. Ha 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 ha. Now, 8-Bit Eric came at McDizzle over this on Twitter and tried to say that this doesn't show anything about coordination. And I'm like, bud, this is absolutely coordination, right? Working together to get someone to spurg out so you can make content on them. Yes. Tarzia responded with, "Yep, subs are finally growing off this, up 1K or so in a week." At all relevant times, Tarzia was aware of the source and fuel for his meteoric rise. Grown-ass man engaging in gay ops. Yes, grown-ass man engaging in gay ops. You're so right, Kimoji. It's so pathetic. Oh, hold on. Oh, like, did they think this was? I don't know what you think when you're doing this, right? It shows like this is like almost proof. This is like certified proof the Smash is a grifter, right? He's trying to coordinate narratives and cause drama to fucking fuel his income. He doesn't give a shit about gaming or even the culture war for that matter. As Perez predicted, the attention Tarzia got for harassing Mercante paid off. On May 10th, 2024, Perez asked Tarzia in a Twitter DM, "You're getting good subs out of this stuff. You're getting good subs out of this stuff?" Tarzia responded, "Yeah, subs are finally growing off this. Up 1K so in a week." At all relevant times, Tarzia was aware of the source and fuel of his meteoric rise. On June 19th, 2024, Perez messaged Tarzia and said, "I need Alyssa and Nick to say some stupid shit tonight." Tarzia responded, "I think they got smart to go to our growth." Laughing my ass off. None of this is an accident. Tarzia intentionally provokes, harassed, and lied about Mercante for the purpose of generating content. And indeed, he acknowledged as much as Perez on June 23rd, 2024, which we already saw. Indeed, Tarzia has made dozens of videos about Mercante since March 14th. Part of this, his Be the Story engagement strategy. Be the story engagement strategy? I haven't heard him say that. That's pretty weak and pathetic too. Like, be the story instead of actually talking about the story, right? If you're going to be this guy who thinks you're a journalist, you shouldn't be making drama. You should be covering what you say you're going to cover. As noted above, one of these videos was ironically titled "Alyssa Mercante is Obsessed with Me." That video also reveals defendant knows exactly what he's doing. Even if defendant likely does not know the source or meaning of Henry's II infamous meddlesome priest demand in the video, defendant shows he knows exactly how to ask for something to be done by those who take the hint. Jesus. In that video, Tarzia gives an unusually straightforward and direct statement about how he understands internet harassment. Oh, yeah, we've seen this. So he said, basically, "I understand how internet harassment works," stating intentionally invoking a person's name or identity serves as a calculated strategy to incite followers and outsource the task of doxing. He tried to say this based off of his name. I guess Alyssa said his name, which has been doxed since like the beginning, since he was in retro gaming days. This guy's also doxed his own address by standing out in front of it wearing a Smashjt t-shirt on a news site. Yeah, I'll check him. And he's just done this all to himself, and then when his name gets brought up, he acts like the victim, and she's intentionally harassing him. And since this court case has started, he's constantly cried, "Well, I'm the one being harassed. I'm the one being harassed. It's not anyone else. It's me. She's not getting harassed. What I'm doing is not harassment." He's been kind of a fucking crybaby. It kind of seems like we found the doxer then. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. So funny enough, he talks about how Alyssa Mercante doxed him. Now, one thing that did happen, though, so far, unless something comes out, which it very much could, about Alyssa Mercante reached out to Smash's wife. Absolutely fucking insane thing to do. No, Joshua, the debate hasn't started yet. We've got a little bit before it starts. This is yeah. I saw that, Simon. I saw that. Simon, once Simon gets off and gets in here, Kinoflex and Jan are gonna join, and we'll go through there in about an hour or two. It will, yeah. Alyssa Mercante is obsessed with me. The video also reveals. Yep. So funny enough, when it comes to Smashjt, he did spread Alyssa's docs by, in a video, on YouTube and in his article linking to Alyssa Mercante's Kiwi Farms that had her information on there. So Smash has openly do it, and he's tried to lie and say he didn't know that it was that her docs was on there, but had previously talked about how she was going after Kiwi Farms because they had doxed her, right? So like it's all lies and manipulation with Smash. He doesn't have like any truth in anything that he says. He's basically like Noah. He's gonna lie and keep trying to lie to his fans. The difference is his fans are so retarded and dumb that they won't fucking do anything about it. Literally, that is the only thing Kiwi Farms is used for. True. Well, I mean, I've used it to find information on people, right? That I was interested in finding more on. I personally, like, I have no problem with Kiwi Farms. I don't like the doxing stuff, and I'll never like post a link to Kiwi Farms. I don't think, like, if it's just because there's like, I don't want to spread someone's docs. I'll never spread someone's docs on the internet. He further states that such conduct creates a pathway for harassment and intimidation, and that this reckless behavior underscores a disturbing trend of online aggression where individuals weaponize personal information in pursuit of vendettas, highlighting the urgent need for accountability and responsible conduct online. I don't mind Kiwi Farms because they're good for archives, but 9 times out of 10 it has someone's docs. Yeah, agreed. It's why it's just like better. I think it's better to play it safe, right, than to like it's simple understanding of what Kiwi Farms is, right? Like no normal person, I think, is going to throw it out there like that. It's fun to read. I love reading about some of the lolcows on there and things like that. Oh, that is so. Yeah, this whole statement he made. But the funny thing is, after he makes this statement, he also dropped McDizzle's full name after McDizzle tricked him into spreading a false article. He also dropped the name of the guy that McDizzle was pretending to be when he sent the email, doxing him and causing Ubisoft to have to give McDizzle and Jeff a cease and desist to remove all the videos. That is how fucking dumb and hypocritical Smashjt is, right? He doesn't believe in the stuff he says, only when it's happening to him that he has a problem with it. That is, Tarzia makes clear he understands his conduct towards Mercante deliberately creates a pathway for harassment and intimidation. Yeah, this phrase right here that he said might come back to bite him in the ass if this goes to court, right? I hope Ron's having a conversation with him, saying like, hey, we're going to try and attempt slap one more time, but if they say no, we might want to think about, taking a well, I lost the track of the words. What the fuck is wrong with me? A settlement, taking a settlement, which she's already given a settlement once. She already gave him an option. Tarzia is aware that this conduct should and does reasonably put a person in fear of physical injury. Tarzia posted over 100 tweets referring to Mercante by name on Smashjt's Twitter account between March 24th and the initial complaint in this case. So with that, saying her name, like, I get what she's trying to do here and say it though, but Alyssa goes by her name, right? That's her public facing name. Just like everyone knows Jeff's name, so they sometimes call him Jeff Tarzia, or Smashjt, right? It's not while he might be crying about it, to me it doesn't matter either way. It's not, if your name's already out there and it's like well publicized and known, it's well publicized and known, right? She was putting it on every article that she put out, so I don't think this one's a good one. Tarzia published more than 90 videos about Mercante on Smashjt's YouTube channel between March and the initial complaint in the case. And that's just before the initial complaint. He has been making videos since this case started for like the last year about how this case is failing and more stuff about Alyssa Mercante and the tweets from ChatGPT where he posted about her being like about sex work or about camgirling being prostitution, lying about it and twisting ChatGPT to say it. That was like more recently. So he continues to add fuel to the fire like he's just going to get out of it. I think it was funny how during the Ubisoft incident after the cease and desist, Smash was almost crying and McDizzle was like, whatever. Yeah, McDizzle mogged him. People tried to say this whole thing like McDizzle's going to jail and all this other stuff. And I read the laws in the Canadian front and it's very, very vague. And it just doesn't seem like something that they would arrest him for. Jesus, 90 videos even before the lawsuit. Yep, 90 videos before the lawsuit happened. That's nuts. Like, listen, I like following somebody. I've made several videos on Noah, but it's always about new information that comes out from his side. I don't make them just to call him a fucking wretched autistic freak or anything like that. I might say that in the video, but once I'm done, like, I'm not trying to pull any more content out of Noah. Noah does something, I say something about it. When Alyssa does something, like even make just a simple nothing tweet that has nothing to do with the culture war, they milk it for content. They try and push as much as they can. They're not doing it because they think it's something that needs to be known online. They're doing it because they want the clicks and views. Those videos alone represent 150 hours and 47 minutes of time Tarzia has spent talking about Alyssa Mercante in her to her followers. That's fucking nuts. That's fucking nuts. Oh, it still showed up. I wish these wouldn't show up in my thing. I gotta figure that out. I mean, these idiots hyperfixate on the same person and pump out over 200 plus videos on near daily basis, yet will call you obsessed for talking shit about them constantly on Twitter. Yeah, it's pretty hypocritical. Make sure you're not accusing Noah of a crime. Well, that's the easiest part. I haven't accused him of a crime. We did say that he was extorting someone, but I think it's reasonable to believe that he might do it. Like, if you're going to, for him to come after any of us over saying extortion, he has to prove that we didn't think it was extortion. And I absolutely think it was, right? Or maybe a few vids every now and again. Yeah. Well, they want to point at it and be like, look, you're doing it too. You're doing it too. And I was like, no, I'm not doing the same thing you are, bud. It's just, that's not what's happening. 150 hours, dude, that's longer than some JRPGs. So you're saying that Smash could have spent his time actually playing games? 150 hours of games? Tarzia posted more than 50 blog posts about, was it 50 on his fucking website? Jesus Christ. This course of conduct has continued even after Mercante blocked Tarzia on Twitter in an effort to reduce his ability to see her posts and tag her in his targeted harassment. Well, they just went to Blue Sky. They just went to Blue Sky. Tarzia's course of conduct bore fruit in exactly the way he described and anticipated. Still not as many hours as I've invested in DD2, Dragon's Dogma. On August 26, 2024. Well, I mean, if we want to talk like hours played, I have over 1,000 hours played in RimWorld. So, see, you could just play games. 150 hours, man. That's like a good RimWorld run, or a good run in, what is it called, in the game I'm playing now, Song of Six. In keeping with his standard practice, Tarzia went straight to ChatGPT to prompt and generate an article for his followers. 300 plus hours in DD2. Good, nice. Write an article about how Alyssa has sent her cease and desist letter, and it's even more embarrassing than we could have expected. Dude. Use that info I just presented to you to formulate an article and take a stance that this is even worse than anyone could have imagined. She is now opening herself up for even more antagonization from the internet, and nothing is going to come from attacking kiwi farms. Also worth noting is a lawyer she retained for this letter is a hardcore leftist and hates Trump. Who cares? And is unprofessional on Twitter. They say unprofessional on Twitter, but they let's talk about like the court case. She has been fucking mopping the floor with Ron in this court case just over and over again, while he does some of the most unprofessional things around. Yes, you're right. You're allowed to be unprofessional on Twitter. It's kind of what it's there for. It's fucking Twitter. I made fun of somebody for fucking hiding a letter in the F slur, right? I did it by spelling out the F slur completely. So yes, you're allowed to be a little bit, we'll say gruff. We'll say a little gruff. You can be a little piggy when you go into Twitter. It's a fucking mud pit. See. Well, she's now opening her up and very I really speaks volumes. But if it speaks volumes that Green is unprofessional on Twitter, then it speaks volumes about how unprofessional you are on Twitter. Give Ron a break. Jeff can't afford him to spend too much time on this case. Maybe that's what it is Jeff doesn't have any more money to throw at Ron to actually look at the case, so he just has to quickly present something. Call out and quotes the portions of the letter that are unprofessional and comment on each of these things as well. Jesus. Chat, he can't even sit down in front of his computer and write out a fucking article about what he thinks. He can't do anything more than a paragraph and then let ChatGPT do it for him. Now listen, I think there are some fun things you can do with ChatGPT. I play D&D, right? I'm a DM right now for my group. I'm usually the DM for my group. A lot of times I'm the permanent DM for my group. But what some of them did, and what I think just about all of them did, was they went into ChatGPT and they generated like a backstory for themselves. Like, this is what I want my backstory to be, things like that. And then they sent it to me. Some of them, most of them, edited it down too, so it sounded better or added things in that they wanted. I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think that's an issue, right? I was able to take that story and build upon it and add it into the campaign we're going through. So, it's interesting. It's always interesting and good in those ideas because it lets people who might not necessarily be good at writing a whole backstory give an interesting backstory to it, and they can just adjust it. Now, Wargaming Dad plays D&D. Hashtag joke. And I have played D&D for a long time. Now, I didn't get started in D&D, going off on a little rant here, until 3.0. And I played 3.5 more than anything else, right? And I played a lot of D&D. So I played a lot of tabletop, right? I played Rogue Trader. I've played the other one that they're soon, that Alcat's making a game on. I've played fucking Vampire the Masquerade and a bunch of others, just a bunch of others. I love role-playing games, love them. I also absolutely enjoy world building. I wish I wasn't so dyslexic and I could actually write a book, because I think I do fairly good like storytelling in my group. D&D was randomly cool after I graduated, but also COVID happened. Yeah, it kind of blew up with COVID, though, and especially the rise of. I think it really helped the rise of online TTS in helping more people connect online who couldn't. Like we used some TTSs for a long time once we started getting families and stuff like that to be able to still play. But now we're back to like pencil, paper, sitting down and doing things together, which is to me more fun. Goodness. She's opening her up self for even more antagonization on the internet. Oh man. Instead of achieving her goal of greater privacy and security, she was effectively throwing gasoline on the fire. The internet is ruthless and it feeds on weakness. This letter is the equivalent of ringing the dinner bell. Yes, yes. I actually have a. I've got to get on my old computer because I wrote up a. I was world building for a world that was a mix of the. Damn, I should guess I take my victories where I can take some. So I wrote this one that was like a. Oh, what is it? They a colony similar to. Oh, what is it called? Similar to like the era of the Revolutionary War and after, with like monster hunting, things like that. I really like monster hunting, so I wanted to read things like that, and a lot of it doing with some terms like kind of horror-ish with mental health issues and horror and things like that added into it. Yeah, settlement, I guess would be a good way to put it. Settlement. And, you know, an overarching empire, things like that. But then the main character would just be a monster hunter who is, you know, living around it, kind of deal. But I plan to put it into a D&D campaign. I'll have to morph it some to get it into like a D&D campaign that I can play with my friends. Well, I haven't put it on paper. I put it in. I use this app called Obsidian to do a lot of my writing, and like I'm writing the magic system is more like an alchemy system than your typical like magic systems that are out there. So I put it all down generally. I'm just not a good writer. It would take like tons of editing, and I have trouble putting words to paper, kind of stuff. But you never know. You never know. Maybe War Dad will make a book. This entire situation is a textbook example of how not to handle online harassment. Instead of, oh, buddy, do I have an awesome book for you? Really? Okay. Let me know what it is. This entire situation is a textbook example of how not to handle harassment. Instead of tightening her defense and working quietly behind the scenes, Alyssa has drawn even more attention to herself and her vulnerabilities and the world of the internet. That's as good a painting a target on your back. Again, in keeping with the standard practice, Tarzia lightly edited ChatGPT output to punch it up, adding the link to the thread about the plaintiff's kiwi farms and describing it as a deep dive lolcow thread, as well as a link to and screenshots from Melissa Mercante's counsel's website. Tarzia also added a few sentences to the final paragraph generated by ChatGPT so that the article now ended with, but oh, maybe I shouldn't say that to her. Like everything else, it's a veiled threat. A screenshot of this paragraph. Jesus Christ. Like he's trying to be sarcastic here, but it's really just making him look better. Worse, considering he linked to her kiwi farms and he linked to the to her counsel's website, right? You're basically going out there and giving your audience what they need. D&D is fun, but I would rather try Cyberpunk Red. I haven't played Cyberpunk Red. I've played the fantasy version, Shadowrun. Shadowrun I liked a lot, but I would love to play Cyberpunk Red too. I mean, neither was I when I first started, and I've been learning as I kept writing from my editors and just overall searching up words and talking to other writers. Still learning as I go, and I don't consider myself a pro by any means. All right, all right. You're starting to convince me. You're starting to convince me. Tarzia also added a few sentences. We got that. At the time, Tarzia had read the Kiwi Farms thread about Mercante on the same day, beginning at 11:58 Pacific time. He had a conversation with Perez in Twitter DMs regarding Kiwi Farms. Oh, do we get to see it? 15 minutes later, Perez informed Tarzia that Mercante's personal information was published on the Kiwi Farms thread. She's doxxed on there, Tarzia. What? So even when he said that he didn't know her information was on there, when it was reported to me that he had been saying in his Discord that he did not know that her personal information was on there, Perez had already told him. 2-Bit Eric had already told him it was on there. And you know what he did? Nothing. He kept it up there for everyone to go look at. Fucking disgraceful. Oh, I see what you mean. 2 minutes later, Tarzia published an article to his website. That is, after acknowledging he knew the Kiwi Farm thread doxed plaintiff, knowing that, defendant published an article with that link. So he found out, oh no! Leaving work? All right, cool. Let me know once you're ready. I'll reach out to Kino. Where am I? Hold on, let me reach out to Kino and Jan. Boop, boop, boop. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, can I spell? It's not coming up. Why are you not coming up? Why are you not coming up? Yeah, there it is right there. Boop, boop, boop. Here we go. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. It's just unbelievable that he found out from 8-Bit that she was doxxed on there and then published the article anyway. That is insane. Insane. That means he knowingly did it. He knowingly did it, right? This wasn't a thing where he found out after. Oh. And that's just fucking insane, right? I think it's bad like tactics or bad policy to just post stuff that's from Kiwi Farms, whether you like the person or not, just in case that stuff is on there, right? At the very least, you should look and see if it's on there, you know. As directed below, defendant has since lied about knowing the fact repeatedly. That evening, Tarzia published the video to Smashjt's channel, the same topic, which was subsequently the same content. In that video, he reiterated his veiled threat, saying, maybe take a stance on not antagonizing the internet, because I can assure you, even if Kiwi Farms does listen to you and does take it down, it's only going to come back tenfold to you. That's how the internet works, especially if you mess with them. Within hours after Tarzia posted this video and article, her counsel and their firm began to receive an onslaught of harassing phone calls and emails, including several which threatened violence, which went on for several days. I mean, Here's the thing. If he had done that and not linked the website, I genuinely probably wouldn't care, right? If he said, personally, I don't think I would have linked I would have even mentioned who her counsel was, just because it can bring stuff up. But if he had just said her name or something like that, I wouldn't really care. But the fact that he linked it means that that you put it in the article. People on your fan base or who read it are going to go to your article and click on that link. What do you think they're going to do when they get there, right? Within hours after Tarzia posted the article, which went on for several days, many of these communications were sent under the sender's real names. Others obscured their identities. Why would you send it with your real name, retards? Many of these communications, or the timing and content of this wave of harassment, made it clear that it was directly motivated by and in response to Tarzia's video and the articles on top. And that's another thing here. Like, I genuinely take the idea that you're not responsible for everything your fan base does, right? But that comes with an asterisk of if you do things that encourage your audience. So if you do things that encourage your audience to do something, yeah, it's falling under you, bud. Linking the article so that linking the website so that they can go find it themselves, linking the Kiwi Farms that's going to have her personal information on there. You showed the Kiwi Farms and you had the link to it. What do you think people are going to do? The timing and content of this wave of harassment made it clear. On Information and Belief, Tarzia featured the letter with the intent that his followers harass Arlentissa Mercante in this way. I don't know if it's within Information and Belief. Well, it's Information and Belief. I could see it being a belief. I also wonder if it's, I don't know, him being retarded, right? If I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, it's him being retarded. But that doesn't mean he should not face consequences for causing this action, right? When Mercante sent a demand letter for retraction, not even seeking money, Tarzia and others posted the demand letter and instead encouraged more abuse towards Mercante. If only people understood how easy it is to not be a scumbag on this platform, right? Let me say something. It is incredibly hard to win a defamation case. Okay, I appreciate it. Right now I'm reading, I listen to a lot of Audible books. I'm listening to No One Gets Out Alive, and goddamn, the book is so much better than the movie ever was. The movie missed the entire second half of the book. I don't even know what they were doing. Let's see here. Tarzia utilized this opportunity to seek funds from what he deemed a serious threat against his livelihood, his family, and his career. Yeah, he started fucking doing the poor me, give me money because Alyssa Mercante is suing me. That is, he admitted to just how crucial continued harassment of Mercante was to the profitability of his enterprise. Uh-oh. As a direct proximate result of Tarzia's direct harassment, as well as his constant knowing and intentional extortion or exoration. All right. I probably know how this word was pronounced, but I blame my dyslexia. So we're gonna exhortation. I figured out the word even before.
Exhortation.
Fucking dumb. To his legion of followers to do the same. Mercante has suffered the following damage: injury to her personal reputation. Yeah, we've read this one. Tarzia's followers act on Tarzia's command. Tarzia's followers echo what he says. They create their own set of videos amplifying what Tarzia says, while stoking harassment, rape, and death threats, and the like. Oh, yeah, let's bring you in, Jan. Let's bring you in. What's going on, Jan?
Nothing, just on early and listening to the destruction of Smashjt.
Yeah, the absolute destruction of Smashjt.
The absolute obliteration.
dude, the stuff that's come out. Like so I'll tell you like my history with this. This is part of the reason I turned away from like anti-woke content and started kind of going after anti-woke things. A lot of it was Smashjt. So I was originally going to, not in the same way you see some people, but I watched a lot of Endymion and stuff like that. And I was like, this is something I'm interested in. I'll start looking into it. And then I started looking into like Endymion's information and stuff like that. And I'm like, these guys are full of shit. These guys are like worse than, worse than the fucking left was back in the day. So I started kind of going against them. And then I remember hearing about the Smashjt case, and I was like, I really don't care. I'm all about free speech. It's usually really hard to prove defamation. And then I started reading the case, and it's just so much more to it than what has been said by Smash and everything else. So this has been like my little obsession.
No, fair enough. Also, I see Lissy's in chat. I was say, thanks for the artwork, Lissy. It looked really cool. I've not had the opportunity to say live on air, but yeah, she's the one who drew the little, the art bit with like you, me, Callisto, and Kino and people.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty awesome. Yes,
yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah. It's a little surreal having like been a small channel and now people have done art about me.
I know, right? Yeah.
Thank you, but credit Deus for liking half of them.
Shout out to Deus as well.
That's right.
But yeah, with the anti, it's so funny, but it's a lot of the woke anti-woke shit starts making a lot more sense when you accept horseshoe theory as just a empirically true axiom of the universe. Like, it's just like they both want the same thing, which is all media to cater to their preference of reality, and they're just going about arguing for it in different ways. Absolutely.
Yeah, different. Are you sure you aren't mega capitalist and right wingers? Yes, I love capitalism, and I say slurs, so I guess I'm a right winger.
Yeah, I like capitalism, but and I say slurs, but I'm like a centre-lib, so that just proves there's more to your political identity than
right. There's more to it. I can think that the far right MAGA retards are just that, retards, while still being right and probably more conservative.
Having the same opinion of Hassan Piker,
Yeah, exactly. Have the exact same opinion about Hassan Piker.
And and the Birdman. Oh, sorry, that's teasing too early.
What
it's a palace cat.
Oh.
A palace cat or a manule.
Do you have a palace cat, or do you just like them?
I just like them.
Okay.
I just generally like a lot of. I like animals generally, but yeah, palace cats were. There was this one documentary. I think. I don't know if it was Blue Planet, but it was dubbed over by David Attenborough, and they just find a palace cat, and they pick it. It's like they say the body is round, and then people have just been like, it's been like a trend of looking for like more and more spherical palace cats, and I just like palace cats. But yeah, I do not own one. As far as I'm aware, you're not legally allowed to own them. They are wild animals. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't read the first comment setting up the joke. You fuck. I don't have another comment that you made. Fucking Nazmir.
Yeah, lied. It was made 3,000 years ago, so you wouldn't be able to find it.
Probably. All of this is Tarzia's intent, and by design, this ecosystem does not exist, but for Tarzia's campaign. And this is something that I've said. Like there's Tarzia, and then there's 8-Bit and Toasty and Nobody and all these guys that they follow. They don't make any other content, or at least any other content that used to get views. But they all got they all got their views and their subs from doing this content, and now just about all of them are dead channels.
Yeah, like I saw the other day, and it's for me it's annoying, just like the extent to which this left wing less so nowadays, but like the right wing tourism is still kind of normalized into like video games as a medium and a hobby. Because like I will see people the other day, I don't know if it was Yorch or Grums, like one of them, who in the same bucket as Smashjt, effectively being like, oh, It was a picture of a guy about like Fallout with a pro gay rights shirt, and they were like, "Oh, look at this fucking retard!" It's like, dude, that's Tim Kaine. He invented Fallout.
Yeah,
And people
yeah,
had
they're
to be
like gay people in Fallout. Like, are you kidding me? He made the two best Fallout games.
yeah.
Because I'm a Fallout purist, baby. Uh,
Same, yeah. Wait. Do you accept New Vegas? That is because I will say I accept New Vegas.
yes,
I
I
do not
accept New
accept.
Vegas, and I won't say that I didn't enjoy playing the first two games, but they don't are or excuse me, 3 and 4. Like I did enjoy playing them to get some Fallout stuff, but like they just don't compare to the first two. There's just no way.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
true.
agree with that
I
statement.
found it really funny because I really liked Mothership Zeta for Fallout 3, and everyone was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, that's the worst DLC. How can you like Mothership Zeta?" It's like, what do you mean? It's you go out and you shoot at aliens. It's fun as fuck. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, the story's shit." It's like all of the story DLCs are shit. What do you mean? They all make no sense.
People have been complaining about like the way I've been complaining about the way Bethesda handles the stories in Fallout. It's always the same story, just done in a different
Yeah.
flavor. You're always chasing the same MacGuffin across the map in
Mhm.
time.
Well, war never changes. Little do you know,
Yeah.
neither do the people in the writers' room, apparently.
Yeah,
So
apparently not. You know what we're gonna do this time? Someone's kid is gonna be missing,
someone's
and
kid
they're
is gonna
gonna.
be missing. Yeah.
This time, they're gonna be an adult because you've been frozen in time.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
so cool, dude.
yeah, it was
And
fucking.
then the entire plot of I think Fallout 4 is the one of the first games where like the I guess The Witcher kind of had it as well, where it's like you're a Witcher and you're in this race against the clock to recover your lost surrogate daughter. Anyway, here I am playing hide and seek with 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fallout because at least there it's like she's like a magical being that can fend for herself, and it's like literally as far as I'm aware, my child is missing. But anyway, the Minutemen need you to build 10,000 more fucking shacks, so better get on that.
It always felt so weird to me in that game because I you get that sense of urgency, but then there's like you're running through. If you just follow the story, you feel like a sense of urgency, and you end up missing like all of the content around
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, a lot of open world games are not very good at giving you breaks to do things. They just like guide you towards the like, hey, if you follow the main quest, you'll keep getting urgent job after urgent job. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does it quite well. Even the first one,
Hmm.
where it's
Yeah,
like, okay, we you need to go to an area and look for things. And or just like find people in different corners of the map so you have an excuse to explore the world as part of the main quest lines. And then Cyberpunk did it quite well, where it'd just be like, okay, after you completed a quest, you just have an allotted period of time where you are expected to just walk around and explore
do
shit.
whatever you want. Yeah, it never feels as urgent when you're going through and playing it. Yeah, I could agree with that on
Yeah.
both of those games.
Oh, by
Bethesda
the way,
has
can
been
you
overrated
screen share?
for. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't screen sharing.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I always forget. I'm just old man mode. I blame the military.
It's fine. True.
I'm actually like 75 in military years.
Really? Oh my god! I didn't know you were a 30-year-old. That's crazy.
I'm actually 40, so 80 years
Oh
old.
no! 900 years
That's
old.
right, gaming troops. You always blame the military.
True.
But yeah, Bethesda has been overrated for a while. Skyrim and
Mhm.
Oblivion was my WRPGs. My friends played the heck out of it. So my like when I first fell in love with Bethesda as a gaming company was Morrowind, man. I played so many
Yes.
hours of Morrowind. That game was peak. I would love to see a remaster of that. Um, but
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that's I don't say that for a lot of things.
Yeah, Morrowind and Oblivion are interesting. Where like there is, I think, all people I heard Rags of EFAP make this point, which is like if Morrow, because obviously every single Bethesda game doesn't function on some level. They're like
Yeah.
notoriously buggy, and you have ridiculous interactions that happen all the time. But like Morrowind and Oblivion wouldn't be Morrowind and Oblivion if they worked. If you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like if someone
Yeah.
was like, I could get a version of Morrowind where I can't just get stunlocked to death by the first enemy in the game and be like, I don't want to play that.
Right? Or you can get the most powerful sword in the game by jumping on top of a rock where the
Jumping
guy
off.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why
Morrowind's
in the
great.
remaster they left in a lot of that shit, right? Because they knew
Oh yeah,
they
for
were
sure.
fan favorites.
Yeah,
It used to
exactly.
be
For sure.
cute, but now let's keep going.
But now it's lame and evil.
Nah, now it's lame and evil. I got chased across Cyrandel by a unicorn. It killed 2 Imperial guards on the way. It's moments like that. It's moments like that that you're like, oh, that was amazing.
That's why I play this game.
Yeah. Examples of these quasi-mount weasels are, okay, hold on. Downstream YouTubers who follow Tarzia's lead. And I don't know who Andrews and Dukes are. I think I've met Dukes.
Adorno.
I think
Yeah,
Dukes is like
often.
got a dragon PFP, and he's probably dumber than the vast majority of them. Will often incorporate the exact same statements made by Tarzia in their video titles, capitalizing off of Tarzia's notoriety. I mean, yeah, it's kind of what you do on YouTube, especially when you're orbiting someone.
It's the orbiter
Yeah.
concept, right? Where you just like go around.
Yeah. Examples of these quasi-mount weasels are Andor's video from March 14th. Alyssa Mercante will not stop, which actually is like the exact video, I think, part of his art of Smashjt's article. I've watched way too much of this shit, his videos.
You're too informed. At some point, you're like, that was a childhood memory that I replaced with that.
Yeah, it really was. You have to watch him on like 2.0 though. He talks so fucking slow.
Yeah.
Entitled Alyssa Mercante Smashjt. Yeah, these are just pathetic names that they copied. On December 16th, 2024, Tarzia published a video to the Smashjt YouTube channel titled Alyssa Mercante Caught Destroying Evidence from Her Lawsuit. Yeah, I remember this one, in which he falsely claimed that Mercante's was spoliating evidence.
Exfoliating, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say words. So you're here to correct me, so I don't have to look it up now.
Evidence I can read it if you need me to.
Hey, if you want to, go ahead.
If you'd rather.
Are you saying that you're tired of hearing me talk about it?
No, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying with no caveats.
That's fine. I did it so you would read.
Yeah. No, I know. The same day, Luis Testone Jr. published a video titled Alyssa Mercante and Sweet Baby CEO caught scrubbing Twitter accounts as Smashjt lawsuit backfires, repeating the same false claims. Just hours later, Montravius Dukes published a video titled Alyssa Mercante and Black Girl Gamers caught deleting evidence Ninja Cast with Atreus.
Atreus. He's their token black guy.
Ah, sick. Again repeating the same false claims.
I've actually gotten on and talked with Atreus on his channel. Atreus is he almost gets it, right? Like he's almost there, but they're his friends, so he doesn't go against it. All right.
Yeah. Likewise, Eric Perez published a video the very next day. Alyssa Mercante caught deleting tweets! Lawsuit implicated. Restating the identical false claims. The claim that Mercante deleted anything grew out of Tarzia's disingenuous presentation of some of the data he found. Mercante didn't delete anything. Rather, after the 2024 presidential election, a number of people deleted their Twitter accounts, and 30 days later, those account deletions became permanent and their tweets went away. When that happened, Mercante's own retweets of those tweets also disappeared. In public data sources, which track the total number of tweets from a given account, this appeared as a substantial drop in the total tweet count for Mercante, and virtually anyone else a user cared to look up. There's probably, if you're like Smashjt, you're like retarded for thinking that she's deleting evidence, right? Like, she probably has a lawyer who would prevent you from doing that, and even then, if it was evidence, wouldn't it have already been admitted into discovery? So it's not like, she can delete a tweet all she wants. It's not deleting
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
evidence because
It was
because
not. They hadn't gotten to discovery yet, but you can guarantee that they had been screenshotted, right?
yeah, because as far as I'm aware, exactly like the evidence, if it's admitted as evidence, the screenshot of the tweet would be the evidence, not the tweet itself. It's
Mhm.
not like the court is expected to look up, hey, Alyssa Mercante's Twitter account, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Talsy
But yeah,
deceptively presented this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say Jeremy Atreus is cool. I've watched his videos. Yeah, like I said, he's almost there and he almost gets it. He won't like fully go against the narrative. He has actually spoken against some of the things if he truly doesn't believe in it. So he's one of the ones I don't think is a grifter.
Mm-hmm. As relevant here, however, the repetition of the misguided claim with substantively identical wording and framing, and without any independent verification or thought, is part and parcel of how Talzia's ecosystem functions, to jump at whatever he says. That seems vaguely true.
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly. On January 11th, 2025, Talzia published a video to the Smashjt YouTube channel titled Adam Sessler Thinks Alyssa Mercante is Too Crazy. Within hours, Eric Perez had published a video to his YouTube channel titled Adam Sessler Destroys Alyssa Mercante. Too crazy even for him. On March 12, 2025, Talzia published a video to the Smashjt YouTube channel titled Alyssa Mercante Now Wants to Be My Editor. Only hours later, Adorno posted a video titled Alyssa Mercante wants to be Smashjt's editor. Veilguard's PlayStation Plus launch flops. I mean, that we all know that's true.
Yeah,
but
right.
at least I could have told you that before it came out.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I was telling people back in the days, like, listen, I knew the next Veilguard was going to be trash. The back when Inquisition came out, and after they had announced Dreadwolf.
Yeah.
So
Inquisition already had a lot of the rot that I think hurt Veilguard, but Inquisition was carried by I think having an interesting enough premise and then having the companions were really interesting, like Blackwool, Solus, Vivian. They were pretty interesting.
Yeah, but after the artist back then, the lead artist said that he was gonna push as many politics in it, where I was like, yeah, fun stuff. Little piece of woke history.
Yeah, and it's also like people always make this point just regarding BioWare as well. It's like, how come you don't like Veilguard when they, like, you know, it's a BioWare game, and it's like, I mean, it's only nominally a BioWare game. The team is completely different from what worked on like Dragon Age Origins. So,
dude, I was a BioWare fan, and I was a BioWare fanboy. Like everything that they made was gold to me until Andromeda and fucking what's that live service?
Anthem.
Anthem, right? Anthem, yeah.
Yes.
The moment, like, I don't know why people thought woke was. Oh, go ahead. You're not letting me rant. Go ahead.
No, I just said that was it. I was just saying Anthem is funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like I knew that BioWare was dead because the day after Anthem dropped, all of the old hats from BioWare quit. And it was like, oh, yeah, they didn't want to make this game.
Yeah, can't imagine why. Actually, I was going to ask you a question as well. Wait, which side are you on? Do you think that Dragon Age 2 or Inquisition is better?
No, I hate Dragon Age 2. The combat system in Dragon Age 2 was shit. That arena style stuff, yeah. I would say Inquisition was better. I felt, and I liked the idea of being the Inquisitor and being able to make these really big decisions about things. So yeah. I mean, the first is always going to be better, but
yeah, the first one is the best one by far. I lean more towards Inquisition these days because I like 2 as an idea, and I like the grittiness of 2, but then the game it suffers from just like functionality issues that Inquisition simply doesn't have. Like, it's horrendously unfinished, and you can tell.
Yeah. Like, now I'll say this: like, if you want to, like, I really, really enjoyed the story of 2. So, and like you said, that grittiness of it, it's the combat. The gameplay is what fucking took me out.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's fair.
It's like the same thing. I played that South of Midnight game on stream, on like a little Finding the Woke series. Music's great, especially for a guy like me in the South. The art direction is awesome. The Tim Burton fucking stop motion looking stuff. The story is pretty decent, I think, for what it's trying to tell, but the gameplay sucked, and I'm sorry when the gameplay sucks.
It's rough, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Kino's in waiting as well. So
Oh,
if you
here.
wanna, you can.
We'll
Yeah,
pop them in. We'll pop them in while
yeah.
we
We're
wait
just waiting
for.
for the Canadian.
Yep, the Canadian.
Big
Well,
Canada.
What's up, bud?
what is good? Just a heads up, I am multitasking at work. I can, thankfully, I can debate while I'm at work and still work. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
He's
That's
a master
fine.
debate. Yeah.
Master
Yeah,
debater.
but unfortunately, unfortunately, I can't leave until 2:30 a.m.
Ooh,
So yeah,
Ooh. If
I'm glad I got
Um,
myself a 9 to 5. Like, oh, actually, it's 6 to 3, and Monday through Friday. Love it.
mm,
they say it's a 9 to 5, but people don't take into account like the time it takes to get to and from work.
True.
true.
So in a way, it's longer, but yeah, I've just been before I got onto the stream, I've been watching Nicholas Diorio's coverage of Southpaw. That shit is hilarious.
Peak,
I love
yeah.
it. I love every minute of it.
That Southpaw
You need to
stuff
watch it
is
later.
crazy. I'll
You need to
watch
watch it later, Jan.
Yeah, I watched part of it, and yeah, it's very funny. Like Southpaw is. Do you know?
Turbo screwed.
It's turbo screwed. Media Detective SK posted some leaked Discord conversations with other people. Media Detective is he's still on Southpaw's corner. Sheev has forsaken him apparently now. So
Yeah,
appealing
just
away.
very briefly, I'm just getting like some criticism over quote tweeting Sheev over how he chose to respond to SK initially, and it's just like I'm sorry, but like when you tell like a guy who said child like CP to fuck off, like that's a terrible response. I don't care if you take it back afterwards. Like you should be criticized for that.
Yeah, obviously,
I can
because
agree with that.
a bit after you posted it, SK sent me the correction that like, oh, she's withdrawn, and it's like that's obviously SK is his own man. He can choose to accept that. I think that is unacceptable behavior to be like, hey, fuck you, fuck off, and Southpaw didn't really do anything that bad. And they're like, oh, upon further review, actually, now that everyone's raping my friend in 4K on the internet, fuck that guy. Actually, like to me, it just speaks even lower of Sheev's character than
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not attacking SK. Obviously, he can feel how he wants about it. I acknowledge that he's the victim. At the same time, I think he's being gaslit by Sheev. I think that guy's a fucking freak. I think he's a piece of shit. Yeah, and this should hurt his reputation. The fact that that was his immediate response.
Well, I think it's a good point because you said it in the post, which presumably is, but like she should be fucking breathing. If he's still somewhat friends with Southpaw, he should be breathing the biggest sigh of relief that SK's immediate reaction wasn't to contact the federal government, right? So, like, yeah.
Well, don't. I won't confirm or deny anything, but you just keep your eyes and ears open for further updates.
Awesome.
Where were we? 340?
Yes, hold on. Nazmir, yeah, they are talking about Southpaw from EFAP.
Formerly of EFAP, formerly of Wayne Manor, formerly of Sheev's server. He's a curious. He keeps getting kicked out of these communities. I can't imagine why. It's like he's the most insufferable fucking person on planet Earth. It's crazy.
No, sure. Listening.
Yeah, like Wargaming Dad. Like, well, yesterday was like your first, the first time you were aware of Southpaw. Like, what were your first impressions? And you're someone like who's more like who tends to be more on his side politically. I'm assuming.
No, I'm actually farther on the right. I'm pretty conservative in a lot of my views. But I take probably
I guess
close
like
to the
in
center.
terms of like media grifters or something like that.
I mean, he's so fucking like stupid autistic. Like I couldn't. It was hurting my fucking brain listening to them argue over what definition of pedophile they should use.
Like Jan and I were saying during our live stream coverage. Also, we got a shout out by Nick. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Like we were saying that this is not like you should not be debating definitions. That you're actually barely a pedophile. That's a stupid fucking argument, and it literally it gets nobody on your side. But what you should have done is just did not like downplay the relationship or just deny that it was sexual at all.
Yeah, which she's done
Yeah.
before. I think you said it, Kino. I don't know whose chat it was in, but like because Kino like sent me this while I was just like doing other things. I was playing Deadlock with a few people. I was like, yeah, I can join in like an hour after we finish this game, and like he was like catching me up to speed on the Discord call. He was like, okay, so just so you know, this is Southpaw debating Exopokery and whether or not he's a pedophile. I was just like, why did he join this call? What's the point of having this debate? Some guy on the internet's calling you a pedophile. Anyway, I challenge you. Like,
Not just any person, not just any person. Jan Saul Goonman was calling him a pedophile.
Saul Goonman called him a pedophile. That is true. Because you can see the tweets dropping in real time. Those tweets had zero like 40 views, 0 likes, 0 retweets, 0 comments. It's like, huh?
Yeah, he's just, well, it was like Egad made a pretty good point last night because he came on the stream and was talking about it. Like if you get those kind of allegations, just fucking if you're not, just say you're not a pedophile and move on, or you like don't.
It's like,
instead of pedophilia, like imagine like murder, right?
Yeah.
Someone accuses you of murder, like you just call them a schizo and move on, like move on with your day.
You don't argue over the definition of murder.
You don't platform those. You don't platform those smears against your character and amplify them. Again, it's like I told Noah, the Streisand effect. Do not like if somebody's talking shit about you, just like ignore it because that. In most circumstances, unless you did something wrong, like he did, it doesn't really amount to anything.
Yeah, and like the reality is, how is this even a winnable debate? Because like this guy, I felt so vindicated by saying, but like Exopokery hates that guy's guts. It's like, what do you think is your win condition here? Exopokery admits you're not a pedophile. He's of course, even if you win the debate, honestly, he's not going to do that because he fucking hates you. So like, why would you? Why would you bother? It's just so stupid.
But he hit him with his you're upsetty spaghetti.
It wasn't very effective. Unfortunately, it wasn't very effective. Right? It's undercut. He tried to use his limit break, but it had
Southpaw
no
is just one of those guys that he tries to sound smart, and he uses big words, but I don't really think he fully like understands what he's saying.
No, he is absolutely. I don't know if this is confirmed if he is like autistic, but he absolutely has like the autism trait of just having to over-explain everything. And like, look, I'm touched by the spectrum a little bit myself, right? So I get the impetus, but it's just the reality is take a break and think about the situation rationally. What is the value of the engagement here? Like, you're not gonna convince this person that you're not a pedophile. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think a 14-page post is the right way to go.
Dude, you don't even know. I don't know if EGAT told you because I know EGAT actually from let's just say certain threads on the internet. I know I've seen his name pop up there. I think, like, did he tell you about the 200-page Google Docies that fucking
he actually he showed me an image of like one of them that was to Mahler during their little fallout, and I was like, what the? I was like, well, I'm not reading this, but what he's like, I don't want you to. I just want you to see the kind of stuff this guy tweets.
No, exactly. He's insane.
Oh
but
man.
Sorry. Picking up a 340 class.
340
on information and belief. 340. On information and belief, these downstream postings deliberately repeat Talzia's words and claim to amplify their harassing effect. To date, Mercante has received more than 1,000 death, rape, and other vicious threats and harassment.
Boom.
Oh boy.
Here's some of the harassment stuff. Hold on, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well,
actually, some of these we can't read. Some of these we can't read. She
received. Let's just say she received a message from low tier god. Okay, that's what happened.
from 100 low tier gods. She also received them originally in this document. There was like censored pictures of like people showing their cock and all sorts of other stuff that she received too. You know, the typical stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
the tactical dick pic, bro.
The tactical dick pic. Hey, Kinoflex, you're muted right now, but do you when you come back, what's your opinion on Smashjt? Inquiring minds.
I don't know anything about him.
Oh
Yeah, he
yeah.
doesn't know.
Well, you don't really do the gaming scene. You're more media analysis,
Yeah.
right? Movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much. I occasionally game, but like for like a story like focused games like a Dispatch and like Mixtape.
Okay.
That was a
Kino is a big mixtape fan.
I heard. I played.
When he first played it, he got into a call with me and actually told me that it was, and I quote, cinema. Those were his exact
Cinema.
words. So.
Yes. It's gonna be preserved by future generations for being culturally and aesthetically significant. Yes.
It's gonna go on the golden record, bro.
I'll say I didn't
We're
like
gonna
the
say that-
game, right? Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Aliens need to understand how good we are as a species, and that game is gonna prove it to them.
I mean, it's the only truth, right?
Sure.
Smashjt is an independent gaming journalist and certified window licker. I don't even know that I call him a gaming journalist. He would have to play games first.
Yeah, he's I don't know if journalism is the word I'd use, but no, then again, like conventional gaming journalists are, he actually, you know what? He, like I said, Horseshoe Theory is real. He fits in with that crowd. He kind of is a gaming journalist in a traditional sense, but
That's
not
more
in
of like that
not in the good way.
yellow gaming journalism is what I would say, which is most of the gaming journalists in the industry on both sides. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Total Biscuit was claimed too soon before he could save us all. So
I know, right?
Several more representative examples are provided in Appendix A, and these include, with fair warning, a redacted exchange where Hassas and maintain an unsolicited nude picture of himself.
Speak
To
of
be
the
clear,
devil.
that's not funny. To be clear, these are neither the worst nor the mildest of the harassment. They are merely a sampling of what is standard. Likewise, those included are hardly even the tip of the iceberg. These are a small handful of a much, much larger daily deluge. When Talzia publishes a new video or other post attacking Mercante, harassment increases. When Talzia does not, it decreases. Talzia's harassment is relentless. During relevant periods, he published a video or article about Mercante every 3.5 days on average, and sometimes as much as 5 to 6 days in a row. Jesus, fucking, holy fuck. Get a hobby. How does he have time to game? How does he have time to review games when he's fucking arguing with his...
He doesn't. And when he games, he is fucking terrible. Kamoji said I should show you some of his greatest gaming hits. Hey, if you can link some of them, I will show him. Like he tried to play Marathon and then talk about how Marathon was so bad, but he was getting wrecked in the game, like fucking terrible. And then when he was
bad.
That's why it's bad. He also played that mouse detective game and couldn't figure out how to equip his shotgun when it's a basic wheel system.
They're all becoming that Cuphead reviewer.
Yes, they're all.
Deep Takahashi. Yes, famous.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the clip of a pigeon figuring out a similar puzzle quicker than that guy? Like it was the same principle where you need to elevate yourself to get to the thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't seen that.
Pigeon,
That's funny.
The pigeon beat him. He was able to figure it out in like under 2 minutes. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to pretend that I'm like a speedrunner or anything, but when you're reviewing something, you should take your time with it and like just not go in hating or don't go into it with a preconceived notion. It's kind of like it's the Roger Ebert's like slogan, right? But applied to video games. A review. The purpose of a review is to go in and tell everyone what you think afterwards. Like you shouldn't. You shouldn't have all these ulterior like motives or like be thinking of like how you can word it or spin it to your audience. No, just go in honestly.
Yeah, if you enjoy the game, you enjoy the game. While I've been like against a lot of woke stuff, I still like my belief was a lot of the beliefs that like were, hey, don't change franchises, make your own games. If the game's good, people will play it. And I think that's come true in a lot of ways with some of the gaming content that's come out, especially indie scene. But yeah. Unfortunately, the industry on both sides is compromised, whether it's by money or by clout.
Yeah, and like the other thing is, and you know, people often make this point, like especially if you mock people like Dean Takahashi or like I guess Smashjt or even DSP, it's like, oh, so what? They need to be like professional gamers? Like, is it not good enough for you that just they're more representative of the average person? It's like, okay, first of all, no, my fucking mum could have figured out that tutorial quicker than Dean Takahashi, and secondly, like it's kind of akin to, this is just a big frustration for me because I would say games are the media that I care about the most in terms of like art forms, and
Yeah.
it's just the reality is gaming is not respected. Like if you know, no offense to no offense to Keto here, who's more of the movie guy between the two of us, but like if someone went to a screening of a movie and they didn't understand the language that it was being screened in, everyone would mock that person for then trying to write a review. Right? That'd be
Yeah.
preposterous, unheard of, ridiculous. But for some reason, a game journalist is not expected to be able to play video games, which I would say is comparable. Like if
Yeah.
you're not able to understand a game's mechanics, it's like it's as unintelligible to you as though you watched the movie and didn't understand like the language that's being spoken throughout.
Well, I feel like yeah, you should. It's like they'll put in someone who plays Elden Ring, but the guy's never played a Souls-like in his life. It's like you should
Mhm.
be be a journalist for specific genres that you are enjoying and giving your opinion on. But that just doesn't.
True.
It'd be like sports commentators, right? You want to know the sport
Exactly.
that you're
Yeah.
fucking playing before you
That's
play it.
that That's a very good
Mhm.
example. Like you would
Hmm.
never have on like if like March Madness is like the one that you guys have going on, right? Like you would never have a commentator on that who doesn't understand like the rules of the game, right? Like it'd be
Yeah, yeah.
insane. If it happened, that would be a generational scandal. So, but yeah, yes, 5 to 6 days, 347, picking up at 347. As of the
347.
filing of the first amended complaint, the only substantive relief from Tazia's harassment has come from periods of approximately 3 weeks in September 2024, when he briefly ceased publishing videos about Mercante after she sent him a cease and desist letter. When Tazia stopped publishing videos and articles about Mercante, the amount of harassment she received decreased substantially. When Tazia resumed his previous practice of publishing videos and articles about Mercante, the amount of harassment Mercante received returned to its previous fever pitch. This pattern is also observed with Tazia's other targets, as described more fully below. When Tazia targets Mercante's counsel, the law firm receives a substantial number of threatening and harassing communications immediately. Section D. Tazia monetizes his harassment of Mercante.
This
Subsection 1.
stuff is stuff that was already in there, so I don't really think we need
Uh-huh.
to go into it. It's just about his
Okay. Yeah.
his monetization side. I'm trying to see if there's any of the new stuff.
Mhm.
Your true colors, not in this industry, to champion games and support games. She's here to publish her activism, and Hassan is just another tool for that. Yeah, that's when Alyssa Mercante has a crush on Hassan Piker, and she was rejected, so they made fun of her for it. I
Horrible.
thought it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is like the big frustrating thing about this is like I've like read a few Alyssa Mercante's like reviews, like her Rings of Power reviews. It comes to mind. Like
Mhm.
she is a retard, like thoroughly.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
Well, it's just on the other side. Like I've read her articles too, and I am in no way the same beliefs as her. I
yeah,
don't think you need
ha-
to. Komoji says, I don't
yeah,
think you need to be extremely good at a game to review it, but you should at least be somewhat proficient at it and not play like a lobotomite. Yeah, I mean, I can
yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you should be someone who has at least provably one, the ability to beat the game, and two, ideally has the ability to beat it in multiple different ways. So, like, the example of a Souls game was brought up. Like, you should probably get someone who is able to beat Dark Souls. Maybe not like quickly, not a speedrunner, but he's able to beat it as like a strength build, a dex build, and like a pyromancer or a priest or a mage or something, right? So that they
yeah,
can assess how those three play against each other.
agreed. It's no secret that over the past few years, mainstream gaming has shifted towards editorial content that strays far from any kind of pure game analysis and dives into social political commentary, ultimately polarizing their readers. Yeah, this is just from his articles.
Mhm.
Manifestation bias. Tarzia's
She has
bias
bias
against
against
women.
women.
Yeah. He went on a weird phase like recently. Like he's always said stuff about the gay, which is funny. He talks about like the gays and women and stuff like that, but he has a video where he takes his shirt off for female gamers. It's very woke.
I'm sure that's a sight to behold.
Yeah, it was definitely a sight to behold. It made a good thumbnail. And then there was another one where he was turning the lights off for Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Matter stream. So Smash was very much trying to be a wokey when coming up at one point. And then he changed completely. What changed? What changed? He made fun of one woman. Well, this guy has been rejected by people like Blow Blacks. So
Okay, the final damning indictment.
He used to like at Blow Blacks constantly to be on Twitterverses. That even Nicholas Diorio tweeted him back saying, "Listen, dude, it's either going to happen naturally or it's not. Just stop."
Yeah, I did this on Wendy's stream yesterday. Okay, I look, Smashjt. I think he's ill. Maybe that's the problem. Like sickness can take us all. Okay, and I think that what he really needs is a good doctor in his life. And I know a doctor who can fix him. Okay, I know a doctor who can fix him. He works at this hospital. It's in Feed the Pig.
Hold on.
He works at this hospital. He's a very good doctor. I recommend him to all of my teammates on League of Legends.
Parasta terveyspalvelua lähellä sinua. Kys.
Pull it up. There we go. Let's bring it over here.
Parasta terveyspalvelua lähellä sinua. Kys.
That's the hospital, bro. I'd recommend going there.
Chains clamped together as the prisoners were marched.
Thank you.
Good place. No worries. Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah, Hypnotic is one of his guys. Hypnotic isn't really an orbiter. He's kind of he was a bigger channel. He was on the same relative size, which he called his army the Bigot Army. I don't care. Kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, yeah.
He has, like, most of this is stuff we already know. Like, he has actually wished death on trans people while watching a video of some trans lady talking to, lady or man, whichever one you want to call it, talking to some council somewhere. Then more recently, as his views were dropping, he started throwing around Indian, like, I call it like performative racism. Where you're just being racist. You're being racist on X just to try and get clicks.
At least be honestly racist, you know?
Yeah, right. Either be honestly racist or don't do it. Chat GPT logs where he was using the F slur. The dude is becoming big time. This guy's Chat GPT. I want access to this full list. I need to sweep through this whole thing. Or because he feeds his racism and sexism. He had to yell at his Chat GPT or tell it to stop denying him stuff because it wouldn't put Indian into an article in a racist way.
Dude, that's become like an amazing new phenomenon. Is whenever people they'll go to the people. I refer to it as like gaslighting the AI. Like there was this one guy. I remember this vividly. It was a Twitter thread, and it was about like the George Floyd killing, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like asking Grok like about the tox report and like saying that he died of an overdose, and like he kept trying to convince it, and the AI kept saying no and no until he eventually just like found a way to like work around it so that it would agree with him. It was like, dude, he just gaslit Grok for 30 minutes.
That's kind of what you see here. Let's see, where is it? He's now for one set up to fail. Asha Shamara, someone he is really happy about now because of the firings, is not qualified for this. And in it, focus on how many gamers are speculating that the reason she was hired as a CEO of Microsoft is because she is Indian. the same Microsoft CEO, Shante Nadella, and how in Indian culture, this is a rampant strategy. Pair that with her lack of experience in gaming. There are a lot of questions swirling around that she got. Like, he doesn't, this is him not writing his own articles. This is how he writes his articles. And then ChatGPT comes back. I can't help frame it around ethnicity or suggest someone was hired because of their race or nationality. That crosses into territory that can unfairly target protected characteristics. My video is commenting on the community sentiment. Feels you fucktard. He's calling a fucking LLM a fucktard. Stop with the PC lesson.
Dude, he's gonna feel really, really remorseful when Skynet takes over and Grok remembers this. Okay, Grok will remember. Sorry, not Grok. ChatGPT will remember how you treated him. Okay,
that's right. In the end, what they call it, something basilisk.
Yeah.
Grooming Grok and
ChatGPT.
Basilisk,
right?
Yeah, I think so. Again, it's like, I'm not going to frame it on ethnicity or culture, but if your angle is this is what the community is saying and the optics look bad, we can absolutely lean into that sentiment without making it about race. Mention Indian. Fucking ChatGPT sound like just this writing is like, I'm tired of it.
Me instructing my child to tell its mother on why I'm currently shitting myself in the bathroom.
Oh. Oh. That's based. I'm going to be straight with you. I can't help frame this around being Indian or suggest that her hiring was because of shared ethnicity or Indian culture strategies. That crosses the certified. Stop saying no to me. You know he's mad because his wife's probably saying no too, and now the AI is telling him no.
Dude, this is a generational clip. The youth stop saying no to me. That has meme potential.
It does. It does.
Smashjt's Tinder dating strategy.
Stop saying no to me. Oh man, I'm not trying to frustrate you, but I'm going to help build and optimize content around someone's ethnicity as part of a negative leadership narrative. That's a firm boundary.
Why does he make ChatGPT sound such a fucking master rage beta, bro? The fucking I'm not trying to frustrate you is crazy. It's like literally the equivalent of asking like a girlfriend, "Hey, why are you mad?"
Why are you mad? Oh,
God bless, dude.
I couldn't imagine getting mad at my LLM, right?
LLM abuse. ChatGPT should sue, bro.
Oh, here's another one. He put into ChatGPT. I need good excuses for why I lost the Mario Kart tournament.
Dude, I would love if ChatGPT just said, you're probably just a bit shit at the game, mate. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sure I can help you with that. No, it's just come up with skill issue.
So that would have been, just say skill issue. Oh, man. More stuff where they say that he is a grifter. I do think Smash falls under that line of grifter. I'm very tight on who I call a grifter. There's only a few people, even in the industry or even in the anti-woke culture, that I actually call a grifter. Retarded, maybe, but
yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because I think it's going to come up in the debate when Simon gets here. But I think the word grifter has completely lost most of its meaning at this point. Grifter means someone who is trying to duplicitously sell you something for financial gain. However much you might disagree with people like Drinker, Mola, or whoever your, contrapose on the left is, I don't think they're grifting. I think they earnestly believe things and are saying them. You can say they're erroneous in those beliefs, but just being wrong or stupid does not make you a grifter. That if anything, is the opposite of a grifter because you're earnestly saying your opinion.
Yeah. Well, there's some of it that I think, with a lot of these guys, that probably not drinker on his side, but like Nerdrotic and some of the ones that have started to like kind of fall off and they're not getting necessarily the views they were before.
I would say that like paying yourself as an authority, but constantly getting things wrong, that seems grifter-ish, at least to me.
Yes, but that can be very like
I would say you're a fraud, not a grifter.
yeah, probably more
necessarily.
fraud. And
Okay.
also
Yeah,
like
I'd
a
agree
lot of
with that.
times with someone saying you're getting this wrong on the internet, it can
Yeah.
be very subjective on if they're
Yeah.
actually wrong or not.
Yeah, I think grifter in my mind, I wouldn't. This is like why I wouldn't even extend it to like a Nerdrotic necessarily, or the
Mhm.
GNG guys, just because like I don't think Nerdrotic wakes up in the morning and is like, how can I like spin this so that I sell people something that I don't believe for profit? I think he wakes up and looks at Supergirl and goes, "This movie looks like shit because it's not my preferred idea of a superhero movie. I'm going to tell people that they should not like it because I don't like it." Which you can have many complaints about his argumentation, his reasoning, even his motivation if you want to really go there. But like, I don't think he's just deliberately lying for money, which to me is a grifter. And again, like what Kino's saying, if like someone is consistently like getting predictions wrong, then I would say they're fraud. They're a
Yeah,
fraud, and you
yeah.
shouldn't trust them. And they have no credibility, but they're still not that's not a grifter.
I think some of them, like I wouldn't call it a grifter, but I feel like some of them may have gotten trapped in the content they're in. It's kind of like the nature of doing
Yeah,
sensational
like
content.
audience capture.
Yeah, audience captured, so they have to, they may not believe in it as much as they did before, but they still sensationalize because this is kind of where they're at. Kind of like, Smashjt says it here, the algro has me firmly placed in the woke culture war video games category. I tried the
Yeah.
GameStop video today and it fizzled out. I guess I'm just going to embrace being a culture warrior.
Yeah,
So,
so that's a pretty that's like a pretty explicit like, hey, I guess I'm going to do this thing. Though if I was being exceedingly fair, which I'm disinclined to be to him given what I know about him, but like if this was a neutral third party that sent me this, right, I didn't know anything about them, I would say
mhm,
like the contention would be like, well, I mean, he has to eat, and as long as he is editorialization isn't necessarily, or editorializing isn't necessarily a sin,
true.
uh, it's frowned upon. But you
Mhm.
want to. At the end of the day, you could have the best video on Fallout 3, and if no one sees it, then doesn't matter.
True, true. Like I wouldn't say
If a tree
this.
falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound, right?
Mhm. True. I would say that I don't think this comment alone would make me think that Smashjt is a
Mhm.
grifter for a lot of the same reasons you said. A lot of it for me, like when I decide someone's a grifter, I have to look into their history and see
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
were. Like Andy Pants Gaming used to have a woke channel before his
Oh, okay.
anti-woke channel took off. Obviously, he was grifting to both sides,
Yeah,
and
it would
when one got
be.
popular, he went with that.
A,
Um,
a good way to describe it, I think, would be like a joint marriage of like characteristics that cannot like amalgamate to a position that cannot exist in totality. Like you cannot be this giga gamer but be unable to produce salient gaming content, yet commensurately you're only able to produce drama baiting content, yet you claim you don't care about drama, you don't want drama, yet you impugn people for their like for them doing the same thing you're doing. That's like when all of that comes together, I'm like, okay, this is weird. What is the motivation, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like when I typically comment on, like I would call myself a commentary channel, like or put myself in that subcategory, even though the main focus is movies, because I'm also responding to takes on movies that I disagree with. So yeah, like I if one of them responds to me, I'm not going to cry and say, "Oh no, no!" Like I'm just a wholesome Chungus movie reviewer. Don't attack me. Like no, I expect that, especially since I'm a little guy, and that helps me. That makes me an easier target because if it's like a bigger channel, then they can get their licks in easier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I make my content expecting that. I'm not going to play the victim.
Yeah, that's true. And you see a lot of
Yeah.
that in a lot of content nowadays. I mean, I would call myself more commentary than anything else too. Like I play games on my streams, but I always want to watch something, watch a video talk about a subject like Smashjt and things like that. And if you're going to be in the commentary space, period, you're gonna get licked. I stopped caring about woke being in the title when people were getting mad at the Hellraiser remake. Yeah, I love the original movies and the books, and the amount of people calling the remake woke told me a lot about the grift. Yeah, well, a lot of times I don't think it's prominent in the movie industry, though I have a lot of problems with the way people like Drinker talk about it, like their views on it and stuff like that. Like I really hate every time he says the message. I think that shit is retarded. But in the gaming industry, it's absolute cancer because these people don't know anything about the the subjects that they're talking about, and it shows when they start talking about it, and then they get called out by that community. But they have a dedicated community that, like a lot of anti-woke channels, money that's coming in right now, and the way they're still making decent money is through super chats. They have a small hardcore base that will just continue to flood money at them.
Mhm.
Smashjt actually has a guy every month who gives him $1,000 in his lawsuit GoFundMe.
Yeah, I'd say that in the movie space it's fairly prominent, but like it metastasizes differently maybe because it's like, you know, with video games there's a lot of appeals to similar things as though in movies, but like for example, you're not gonna. It's kind of started to bleed in, but like they're putting ugly chicks in games as like a narrative, right? With like the thing like the message, like I think the like the reason the message quote unquote like annoys me, or like that slogan annoys me a little bit, is it's not very clear as to what the message is, and it feels like it leaves it open to interpretation for anyone really. Then again, I'm not familiar with this full like catalog, so I don't know if he ever does explain it. My interpretation of it, if I'm being charitable, has always been like there is a particular slant in Hollywood towards making products that are extremely fleeting in nature due to their like vacuous appeals to contemporary sentiments and sensibilities. And there's less of an interest in making art that might be uncomfortable or challenging or like edgy in any way. Like and I were talking about this the other day. I don't know if you've seen. Have you ever seen Dragged Across Concrete?
No,
Wargaming
I
Dad?
haven't.
It's you would know the director's name. I think Zala is his surname. But he makes movies like the like kind of Tarantino-esque, very much explicit scenes of brutal violence happening. Like, and a lot of the scenes are very quick. Like, there's a scene in the movie where there's a bank robbery, and it's established minutes before that one of the people, like we follow her on her way to the bank. She's played by the woman who played Deborah Morgan in the Dexter series. But it's like, oh, she's recently had a kid and she's been really anxious about returning to work because she works at a bank and something bad might happen, and lo and behold, something happens. And the robbers hold up the bank, and one of the guys tries to send an email to like one of the police, and they say, if the police show up, we'll kill everyone here. So he tries to stop him, makes a quick move, then the robbers execute her pretty much. It's like, okay, that's like a pretty edgy, shocking scene that like, because she's like pleading with the robber, like, oh, I have a child, and he just shoots her in the face, right? That's like upsetting. That's like a thing in like a major Hollywood production you wouldn't see as much nowadays, I feel. Unless it was specifically a director like Tarantino who's like carved himself out a niche. Mainstream Hollywood and certainly mainstream franchising Hollywood would never do something remotely defiant of like the norms in the industry, which I think is a problem, and it's why the term slop has been passed around a lot. Like all of these movies coming out, like a lot of the superhero stuff, a lot of the major franchise films, they're pretty much interchangeable. You can almost immediately and accurately predict what's going to happen, which is why it's kind of, I feel, the thorn in the eye, as I'm going to get into, for a lot of people, that whatever else you think about Drinker or Nodrotic, like a lot of the predictions that they make kind of end up being true in a lot of cases, which is it's not always, of course, but sometimes.
And not to already give our arguments or to spoil our arguments, but I feel as though that's what the beginning portion of the debate we're going to have with Simon is going to be, since it's related to Supergirl.
Okay.
Yeah, at least
So
somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Also,
do remember.
Simon almost here.
I'm gonna reach out to him again. because he was on the way home. Let's see, Zero. You sent me. Oh, what's this Google Doc that you just sent me? Well, I'm not gonna pull it up right now.
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's
look at it.
that's Southpaw's Google Doc. I wanted to
Southpaw
give you
made a
some
Google
insight on it.
Docie.
No,
We know what we're
it's his
doing
old
tomorrow.
Google
Then.
Docie. It's his old Google Docie, I think, right?
Oh,
Or
is
wait,
it
is
an
there a
old
new
one?
Google Docie?
Oh God. Oh God. Why is it different? Fucking. Why are some? It's all
Because
different.
he's
Fucking.
retarded.
It's making my dyslexia hurt. Like, why are there different
Also, what
sizes?
Lissy said in chat, that's also absolutely true. Like, yeah, the problem is
Yeah.
because of the sheer budgetary constraints of a lot of these major projects, it is no longer viable to make art in a fashion that is supposed to evoke a particular kind of experience in people, and more importantly, evoke experiences that not everyone might be interested in or like know that they want ahead of time. It has to be super safe, focus tested, marketable, pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
Which is
even
like
then,
why
like,
every single movie now has like a cute sidekick, or like many of them do, because like it works. You can send a fuck ton of plushies, you know.
yeah, true.
Another big one is quippy humor. They always need to have
Quippy,
like ass loads of of unfunny comic relief that ruins the tone.
That's persisting into even writing. Like I like horror. Right now I'm reading No One Gets Out Alive, which is actually a lot way better than the movie was. The movie cuts off the entire second half of the book, but my sister was like, "Hey, you need to read Kingfisher. She's really good and all of this." And I read one of the books, and it was like every time the tension was building, something was happening that was supposed to build tension, she'd make some joke about her butt or something like that, and it would just like completely kill it for me. And it was a terrible book. Uh, Also, you want to hear something interesting? I don't know if y'all have heard this. There was like a couple of years ago, whenever the Princess Dragon movie came out on Netflix, Netflix
Raya?
had, huh?
Oh no, I may have a thing of something else. Go on.
Yeah, it was the princess fighting the dragon. Eventually, the dragon teams up with her and they kill her. Who was supposed to be husband. Anyway, I was reading an article that was talking like they had a interview with people at Netflix higher ups, and Netflix strategy was basically pointed out that they didn't want to make Damsel. That's it. They didn't want to make movies that were like blockbuster hits. They wanted to make movies that you could put on while you're doing the dishes or sweeping, or like movies that you're really not even watching, because
Yeah,
Damsel
second one of
did
the
so well.
content, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a problem definitely in the movie industry.
Yeah, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck mentioned that on Joe Rogan podcast episode, and I don't know how you feel about Joe Rogan, but that was a very insightful episode because it really tells you how like how Netflix as a company works, at least. Like they make everything, like they make a lot of their projects, be it movies or shows. They essentially blow their load at the beginning, and have it like have everything else be underwhelming afterwards. At least that's how most of their projects are done, because they know that they know that most people are probably going to click off initially, during the beginning. So they really need to hook them, and afterwards they'll just be on their phones.
Yeah.
So they just so they essentially they're essentially incentivizing this like very ADHD type behavior where you're multitasking, and I think that's that really hurts the art form.
Yeah, absolutely. It just
Or the art
becomes
side of
about
things.
making money and things like that. Right, right. There's similarities in the gaming industry, but the thing is like I think the gaming industry has a lot more medium for like it's a lot easier for someone who is super small to get into the gaming industry and make something good. Like even this right here, like Song of Six is made by one guy, and it's been a pretty popular game.
Yeah.
Wherein like in the movie industry, it doesn't seem like you can do anything cheap. Even like the
Well,
cheap ones that I've heard of is like $100,000 to make the movie.
yeah. Let's say you can if you do things like obviously you could argue with things like YouTube. There's more of an ability to make content of like a filmic nature than there's been before. But the real issue is like the studios aren't interested in promoting it, and there isn't really a Steam equivalent or like a Steam marketplace equivalent where you can just be like, okay, I'll make a game, I'll put it, because like that's like the big issue. It's like who's going to publish it for you? Who's going to be the retailer, right? Like there's not as much ability to self-publish in the film industry as there is in the gaming industry, as far as I'm aware, or even actually the literature industry is it's an odd one. But like generally, if you're not going to be in theaters, not a lot of people are going to pay money. Obviously, theaters are only going to want to take on movies that are going to generate a profit for them, or that are likely to generate a profit for them. So
Yeah, yeah. Just not that medium out there to prop you up.
hmm yeah, but streaming has improved things somewhat, like the popularity of it. Like there's more ability for you to just make streaming content or movies
I
on
can't
streaming.
I can't say anything. The last movie I paid for to see was The Backrooms. So I think the big, and here's like my take on pirating. Like the pirating is a problem created by an industry that makes it too expensive. There's always going to be people who pirates, but when pirating gets bad is when it's not cheap enough for the average consumer to do it. And movies are incredibly expensive. Like if you want to watch Netflix, you pay a subscription. You want to watch Disney, you pay a subscription. They're all over the
Exactly.
place.
I think a lot of people would be even willing to front the costs. It's more a matter of convenience. You can no longer just go to Netflix and have pretty much everything there. You have to have Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and Paramount Plus and HBO, and it's like I'm not. And then you even have to like you get logged off out of one of it. Like, what the fuck was the password for this? It's like it's genuinely just frustrating that it's easier to just pirate it in some ways.
Well, it's very like reminiscent of the God, what was I about to say? I just completely lost my train of thought of cable, right? Cable originally, like it got so bad you had to, you want HBO? That's an extra fee. That's an extra $50. And now that's just changed with streaming, right? We had it good for a little while.
And then gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was I gonna say about that? It's a funny, I think, example again with video games. It's like you almost never video game piracy isn't really a thing anymore. At least not majorly. Like it's not even a major conversation because just get Steam, and you can easily access pretty much any game that you would reasonably want.
Yeah, like I said, it's a problem that the industry creates, and the industry can make it not a problem by creating a method that's good for the people. It's the same thing with like movie or music. I don't think music is heavily pirated because of
Spotify.
Spotify, right? And music was like one of those ones that had a huge problem with it.
yeah, one of the biggest ones. Yeah, that's funny with games. I'm pretty sure if you were to run the numbers real quick, you'd pretty quickly find that the most pirated or I guess emulated games or whatever are going to be exclusives, right? That people can't easily play on their system.
Yeah. There's always that joke, like people are like, PC or the console guys will be like, PC never got to we'll never get Bloodborne, and they're like, yeah, we did.
yeah, we did. Yeah, if you know where to look, you did.
Yeah, where to look, we did.
Man, that's one. Something has to seriously be wrong with there not being a PC port for Bloodborne, because like the only alternative explanation is they hate money, and I don't think that that's true.
I don't think that's true. There's part of me that thinks like maybe they lost it. They just don't want to build it from the ground up or something like that. They lost the source code. Because that's still
true.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go.
I was gonna say that was still when Souls likes were very small, right? Not very. It wasn't fully mainstream yet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Bloodborne, I think, was like the first step in them becoming mainstream, funnily enough, because it was more of a it was more of an action game than the Dark Souls games were. It also came out after Dark Souls 2, which is like a historic low for From, I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But yeah, with Bloodborne, it's because the source code thing's been floating around. But like then I'm like, if that one like lady that fucking made the demake from like the ground up, like if she can do that, you can fucking you can
Right.
you can do it with your infinite money to generate infinite revenue forever from
Yeah, you would
the
think,
fucking
you
the
would think
Bloodborne
so.
fan base. Yeah.
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 So lost. It wasn't that they lost the source code. The practice back when Silent Hill 1 and 2 were made was to just get rid of the source code after the game was published and moved out. That wasn't like it was pretty common, I guess, throughout the industry. So
Which
they
seems
just
insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lost media circles and piracy goes hand in hand, to be honest, especially now with companies straight up deleting media. Yeah, that's such a weird like concept. Like the I've always said when it comes to, and this is getting into another topic, so we're running off that. The problem with like the game, us not owning games, is a problem that's been persisting since Microsoft went on subscription stuff. Since licenses started getting passed out to consumers, because when I was younger, licenses only got passed out to companies, right? And you bought the software yourself as a consumer. It was, it's great. A license is great for a company that has to put 2,000 versions of Windows on PCs, but for a consumer to not be able to own their product, it's not good. It's never good. So now you, instead of paying like $50 and having Windows 11, you pay, or yeah, $50 for Windows 11. You pay $15 for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but like the reality is like because I've like become too black-pilled at this point because there's all the brouhaha currently about the the Sony going discless stuff, and it's like, man, I hate to say it, but if the next PlayStation comes out and it doesn't have a disc port, it's just all digital, people will still buy it. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's just
100%.
reality.
Well, we've already seen this happen, right? Everybody was bitching about the Switch 2 and the cartridges that weren't actually cartridges, and still they fucking sold record numbers, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, a lot of people that said they weren't going to buy it bought it and then made videos on it.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. There's this.
Yeah, the cope then around was like that. Oh, it's Nintendo. It's like, yeah, I mean, Nintendo. Well, it's just Nintendo. It's like, yeah, that should give you pause for thought that Nintendo is one of the most rampantly anti-consumer companies ever, but yet they are endlessly rewarded because I mean the games are consistently pretty good. So
Bing bing wahoo, Jan. Bing bing wahoo.
Yep, exactly.
Simon, where are you?
We're kind of like an hour over schedule.
Yeah, right. Sometimes he gets stuck places, and there's been other times when he couldn't make it, even though he's the one that said we want to do it today. Bought it because I wanted it. That's all there was to it. And that's fine if you want to buy it because you want it. But if you're going to like signal that you think it's a terrible thing, the stuff that they're doing and
just don't be
digital
a hypocrite.
media, right?
Yeah, just don't be a hypocrite. That's kind of
Man, what the fuck? Why is the PS5 so expensive? I'll take a dozen, please. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Why the fuck is GTA like 6 so expensive? Like, like I'm buying one for every day of the month. Exactly. You just know, like when GTA Online comes out for that, like they're going to spend all their finances off of that and just like live in a server. Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like people, the gamers, quote unquote, have been signaling that we need to, pay with our wallets or use our voice with our wallets.
Vote with our wallets.
Vote with our wallets. Sorry. And
remember when Mudahar originally made a fuss over the Nintendo Switch 2 and ended up buying one?
Yeah, he voted with his wallet.
Exactly.
I'm like one of the, I'll say, like, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. I'm one of the few people that I like really gave up on a lot of AAA games. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't afford a $70 game every other week because things are coming out. And I went straight indie for a long time. It's very rare that I buy a AAA game.
Same. I just don't buy games on release anymore. It turns
That's
out
true,
that,
too.
hey, all those games that are coming out, if you wait 2 years, they'll be on sale for like half the cost, and you'll probably get more than enough playtime out of them. In
Yeah.
fact, you get the better. You get, in many cases, you get the better version of the game because they've had time to actually finish it by 2 years
Right.
down the line. So, like, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of predatory practices associated with like the hype culture,
hmm
which is yeah, pretty problematic. I think causes a lot of issues, and people are for whatever reason tolerant of it.
Yeah, it just becomes like it started with like microtransactions, and
Hmm.
it's just become normal. Those
Yeah.
came normal first, then there was a few like loot boxes got kind of hit in a lot of areas, but they just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, loot boxes, a lot of, and like again, the kind of black pill, I think, take on that is like the only reason loot boxes lost is because you could demonstrably prove that there were elements of gambling to them, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you could go through gambling laws, and it's just like you look at the you look at the ecosystem today, and like loot boxes never went away, guys. If you think that you are you are
Yeah,
delusional, they just got reframed as battle passes, so they tell you what the rewards are ahead of
Mhm.
time.
But you look at like people talk a lot of positive on Steam, and I get there is a lot of positive for Steam, but when you really look at it, a lot of the stuff that they do is in reaction to something else, and then they have
Mhm.
the largest gambling game probably in the fucking world.
Oh,
So
CS:GO,
yeah,
yeah,
CS:GO, and
yeah,
nothing's been changed on that. They've even like had lawsuits come up. There's been people that have tried to take them down with it, but they make a little change here and there,
yeah,
especially with like the websites, just to
yeah.
get people, but they're not going to turn down that money.
Yeah, it's the thing with CS:GO though. Also, it's like it is explicitly, as far as I'm aware, an 18 plus game. So it's like your kid shouldn't be playing CS:GO. So
Yeah.
I know that's not the best excuse. Like the problem is it was in games like Overwatch, which were like PG-13. So it's like, oh, that's kind
But
of
how
what.
does it stop you?
And
It's a
then
free to play game,
y- y-
so any kid can download it.
yeah. And then, the less said about like the Hoyo games, the better. Like fucking
Yeah, no shit.
whatchamacallit, like Genshin Impact and shit like that, where it's
hmm
literally like it is like the gameplay loop is gambling. What the fuck is
Mixed in with like a tiny bit of
Simon in
gameplay.
waiting, by the way.
Who?
Simon
Oh,
in
there he
waiting.
is. Okay, we got him. Finally, I just messaged him.
Hey, he's on that Canadian time.
Wow. Well, way to
And
show up.
there we go.
Fashionably late.
Hey, don't blame me if my bus schedules are all fucked up at the moment. I have to arrive here like at midnight.
True.
Well, you should
I
come
blame
down
the
to
bus
the US
system.
and actually own a car.
Yeah. So, how should we start this? Just like the preamble, or should we just get straight into it?
I would say at
I'd
least
say-
like talk about your sides, and then
Okay.
just.
I mean, I'd say at least pull
Yeah.
up the context. Like if you're going with
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
have,
what I mean.
That's
what I mean with the
compiled.
tweets, yeah.
I have the context readily
Okay.
available.
Drop it in.
Yeah.
Feed the pig.
I made a group. Well, this is gonna be, so to be clear, you
Did
don't
you
need
make a
to
Google
share
docu?
this. I made a Google docu, yeah. But this
Oh,
is
wow,
Google
no,
Docky.
not-
Let's go.
Google Docky.
what we want to talk
Google
about. There we go.
Docky. Well, it's
But,
like
Matt,
20 pages long.
Jan, you actually prepare. What nerd behavior? Am I right?
I know,
I'm
I
right.
know.
I just
But
turn
it
on
has
my
a lot
stream.
of it has a lot of the context tweets in there.
Gotcha.
And then I
Yeah,
can.
I also got some stuff as well because if we're going to be talking about like sweeping, I have an example of sweeping that's not really related to Bir3man that I would like to pull up later as well.
Is it about Rev?
Yes.
I fucking knew it. Alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know exactly which clip I'm going to pull up, and that's regarding the whole shit with Grums.
Oh yeah.
And Rev says this, he was a retard, so I don't think I'll have
Yes,
a lot of disagreement there. But,
Yeah, we're not going to disagree there.
what is it that I wanted
Bir3man.
to?
The Birdman tweet manifesto. I love that fucking thing.
The Birdman tweet manifesto.
I'll really quickly update it with one more tweet
Okay.
because I realized I didn't put Kinoflexes in there. We can do that, and then I won't bother putting Simon's one in because I think it's easier to probably just respond to like because the contention like there's what I guess I want to say is like to start off with the contention is on my end with like this whole thing, and I know him fairly well. We speak every day. Kino's as well is starting from the Just Fabulous tweet, which is it was in response to Supergirl and flopping at the box office on its opening weekend.
Yeah,
And
that I kind of figured as much as well.
Yeah, and it said, "I'm sad, not because I wanted this movie to win, I just need Critical Drinker to lose." To which Mauler responds, "Pathetic way to live." To which the Birdman responds, "I guess when you're too chicken shit to review your friend's terrible movie, and he's too chicken shit to review your terrible movie, you get takes like this, defending a hypocrite. Drinker has said nearly exactly this, and you never call him pathetic because you're pathetic." And then Kinoflex says, "You can't say this while refusing to say anything about your friend stealing from people, false flagging people, and trying to extort a disabled man out of $100. And then has a funny little meme there.
Yeah. So here's the thing. With the whole point with Birdman's tweet to Mahler, I think that is kind of like an idiotic statement to say. So I can, like, you know, somewhat agree with you on this one. But that's not where my point of contention is. My point of contention is with what Kino said regarding Noah not covering the Birdman. And, you know, the interaction.
You mean Birdman covering Noah?
Birdman covering Noah, yeah. Okay. So this is where my point of contention is, because here's the thing. What more is there to add that hasn't already been said regarding Noah?
Well, can I say something before Jan, you pop in? Okay, since it's stressing me. Yeah, so I don't really understand that point of contention, Simon, because you don't need to address something just for the impact alone. For Birdman, he closely associated with Noah, and he is someone who is very vocally against grifters. In fact, he's just completely made that the face of his entire content. So for him to be vocally anti-grifter and not make any sort of attempt at publicly addressing one of his close associates, who is like one of the biggest grifters you can imagine, or that we've seen, I just think that's highly hypocritical.
I mean, for starters, let's first get like two things out of the way. Already, Birdman has already said that he streamed with Noah, I believe, once, and that was it. And they maybe had a few back and forth, I guess, in his servers and maybe DMs. But he's also said that he wasn't super close to Noah. He's collaborated with him once, maybe talked to him a few times in other servers. But aside from that, like, how would you consider that like a super close association? Like, what I had with Noah was really more closer to him than what Birdman had with him. And secondly, he's already denounced Noah. So what more do you want at that point?
Two things, because I need to clear one thing up here, because I think, and this is nothing against you, you would have no reason to believe otherwise, but the idea that Birdman denounced Noah in any meaningful way is preposterous. He denounced him in a Discord message that he made in his Discord server. Now, you might think, oh, that's reasonably public, right? It's a Discord server for a major content creator. I actually checked with the person I have in the Discord server. The Discord server at present has 160 total members. Birdman is a 300k plus YouTube channel. And to compare, Dickers, who has 3k subs, has 140 something Discord server members currently. So the server size is disproportionately small, and he made the announcement that Discord server. You might wonder why that is. Well, it's because if you go on the Birdman's channel, you'll find no link to his Discord server. If you go to a video made by the Birdman, you'll find no link to his Discord channel. If you go to the Birdman subreddit, you'll find no link to his Discord channel. The link was only accessible briefly on that subreddit in a post of someone asking about, I think, appealing a ban from the subreddit or something to that effect. And there was a Discord link in that thread. that Discord link is no longer there. So at present, there is no way for the average member of the public that I'm aware of to access that Discord server. So for all intents and purposes, for the purposes of this conversation, we are talking about a private Discord server that is not publicly available. I do not think that it is reasonable to say you have publicly denounced someone when you have done so in what is functionally supposed to be a private Discord server. Anthony Gramuglia, just very quickly, Anthony Gramuglia made a tweet saying a brief update on this matter. The Birdman recently banned Oddly from his server. You'll notice that's a tweet from Anthony Gramuglia. That's not a tweet from the Birdman. The Birdman that I can find made no public announcement on Twitter or YouTube that he had this issue with Noah. So commensurately, or conversely rather, the video, as far as I'm aware, the content that he shared with Noah is still up, and the video responding to EFAP comment section, where he at the start says that Only Noah is a friend of the channel, is still up with no amendments, no clarifications, no comments pinned that he has cut ties with him. So to say that he has publicly denounced him, I think is just not true in any meaningful sense of the word.
And
Publicly, but then
wait,
yeah.
Simon, just real quick. I also just want. I think I already said this to you, but the only reason people even know that Birdman made those comments in the first place is because I made, I brought attention to it where Critical Drinker quote tweeted me and Internet Versus covered it. So
Anthony also made a statement on it.
If I had not like raised awareness of what he said, most people probably wouldn't have heard of it.
Anthony covered it in post to Kinoflex making that announcement, just to be clear.
But let's be also honest, like the whole freaking drama with Noah was also very much like everybody was covering. So had you not said anything, somebody else might have actually pointed it out as well. But it's still a denouncement, whether we like it or not. Even if it's not a public, like a open public denouncement, it still ended up getting out in the public. It's still a denouncement regardless. Now, would it be fun if he actually made some content on it and added to it and maybe said something? Sure, but what more would he have to say regarding the matter?
The problem is we're missing each other on like a crucial thing here. So first of all, the response from Kinoflex is valid now because he hasn't made it, but the reality is Kinoflex isn't necessarily even impugning him for not making a video right now after it's pointed out to him. He's impugning him retroactively for not making a video at the time that the situation was, let's say, hot, for want of a better term.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I also didn't make a video on it when the situation was hot either.
Okay, but you do not have a YouTube channel, to my understanding, where you...
Yes, I do.
You need to let me finish. You need to let me finish talking. I'm sorry. You can't be interrupting me. The point is, you don't have a YouTube channel where you specifically have a series called Exposing the Grift, where you profess yourself to be a person who makes it their business to go after grifters, right? That's
your
videos.
No, that's not the core of my videos. But again, why is that relevant? Why would I need to actually I'm not saying you have a series out there for that?
Well, how about this, Simon?
Go ahead.
Would you say that you're a thought leader amongst this community to the same level that Birdman is?
But when has Birdman ever said that he was a thought leader on this? Yeah, he does.
He doesn't have to declare himself as one, but he is seen as a respected member of this community. And do you even have 1,000 subscribers? I'm not trying to number shame you or anything, but he has more reach than you do.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah.
But again, he's a respected member of the community, but does that mean he sees himself as a thought leader? That's like saying Drinker sees himself as a thought leader in that community that he's in.
So, one thing I'll say, I think what Simon's trying to get to, and I kind of have an agreement on this, I don't think size really matters. Yes, size matters because he is large enough to sweep, but Simon was deeply ingrained in fucking Noah's community to where he was a co-host on his show and other things like that. It's still shouldn't he make a response to it, being that he was so deeply ingrained?
Wait, but he has. Simon has made several stream appearances clarifying that he's disavowed Noah. He's appeared on other people's streams. He's made comments in Discord servers, on Twitter, and in social media environments that go beyond his usual reach. So even by the standard, Birdman hasn't made a video because Birdman doesn't really, and as far as I'm aware, he's not talked about it on a live stream either. I think Kino would settle for an appearance on a live stream. But the fundamental issue, two things, okay? Because we're kind of I think we're kind of talking around like the major point here, which is this isn't even Kino's standard for sweeping. Birdman is the one who, in this instance, went after Mauler for being and accusing him of hypocrisy because Drinker has said something to the effect of that tweet, and that Mauler will not cover Drinker's movie, and vice versa. Drinker will not cover Mauler's movie, right? Which is no more preposterous, expecting a media reviewer to cover any and all media, even ones made by their close associates, is no more preposterous than expecting a grifter exposer to expose a grifter that is in the same sphere and in the community and that he's had ties before. In fact, if anything, if it is such as you say, that Birdman did not have any strong ties to Noah, by Birdman's own logic, that casts further doubt because there's no potentiality for a conflict of interest at all. The reason he's not covering Noah is left even more ambivalent. So what I'm ultimately getting at here is, if you don't like the standard, that's fine. That's Birdman's standard. That's not Kino's standard. Kino is then just taking that standard and turning it on the Birdman to show how the standard fails. Because of course...
But here's where, so I'm just going to interrupt you, but here's where the whole point is kind of like moot, because one is regarding him covering movies, like Mahler and Drinker's movies. The other one is regarding a drama. Like, I don't really see what the difference is, because when it comes to the whole thing with the movie, like, regardless of whether Birdman, whether Drinker and Mahler are close associates, you can still review or provide some semblance of constructive criticism to your movies despite being associates. That's just how media critics work. But when it comes to the whole freaking thing with Noah, that's an entire drama. And again, not the same standard we're having here. Like, yes, I think it would be fun if Birdman did address it, or, made more of a public statement regarding this instead of, saying it in his Discord or whatever. But he still made an acknowledgement regardless of it. And it's still a denouncement. Like, yes, he should probably go more into it. If you want to make that argument, sure, he should maybe be more open about it. But at this point, we already know that he denounced him. So what else is there to say?
Well, okay.
Had he said absolutely nothing, like absolutely nothing on his Discord, not anywhere, no trace of a denouncement anywhere, then, or just would have doubled down saying or made excuses, then I would have said, okay, he's sweeping, he's ignoring it. But in this particular case, I can't even say that.
Okay,
I'm so sorry, just because. Sorry, I just need to ask one thing, because like it is. I'm getting like kind of confused by one thing. So you would agree? You said at the start that the Birdman's response to Mauler is poor, and that the logic there doesn't hold out, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then Kinoflex uses that logic on Birdman, using what I would argue. What is it that makes drama? What is it that makes a drama situation where a grifter is exposed? And pointing that out that the guy who exposes grifters hasn't made content about that. What about that is disanalogous to a media reviewer not covering a particular type of media that you like? Like, you understand the logic here is he's asking media reviewers why they didn't cover specific media, and Kino is asking in turn a grifter exposer, let's just call a spade, drama channel, why he didn't cover this particular drama.
Okay, but that's asking a wrong with another wrong. That's like asking two stupid questions with another stupid question at the end of the day. So yeah, I guess you could say by Birdman's logic, but then again, you're asking him another dumb question at the same time. It's like...
Well, let's think of it this way. Hold on. I got something here. So let's think of it this way, right? We wouldn't let Noah get away with putting his apology and things like that on Discord. We wouldn't let him just hide it behind the Discord. So why would we do the same for Birdman when he clearly wanted to make the response because he felt he had to make it and put it in his private Discord so that it wouldn't go to the wider audience? Like, why is Noah hammered but
sorry, even again, because like we're nearly there, like I don't want to take away from that too much, sorry, Wargaming Dad, but just like because I agree, yes, I agree, what he's doing, you could say, is asking he's asking an illogical question, and the Birdman also asked an illogical question, but you understand the purpose for Kinoflex to ask that illogical question is not Kinoflex wanting a quote-unquote earnest answer on this occasion. He is pointing out to Birdman via how stupid this sounds, how stupid what he is saying sounds, right? It's like, let's say that I go let's say that I go to a maths quiz and I say 2 + 2 is 5, and someone says, well, what next? What's next? We're going to find out that 3 + 3 is 7. It's like they're not genuinely saying 3 + 3 is 7. They are saying how my logic or what I said makes no sense by illustrating how it fails in other instances, such as when applied to the Birdman on this occasion. So Kinoflex here isn't saying, oh, the Birdman, you need to make a Noah video. He's saying, God, it would be pretty fucking stupid if someone like who has this same mark against them that you're accusing these other people of had that same mark against them if you frame it through a different thing that you yourself didn't cover. He's exposing why the logic is bad. He's not making a qualitative statement on like what the Birdman needs to or needs to do. As far as I'm pretty sure, as far as anyone here is concerned, the Birdman can do whatever the fuck he wants. But if the Birdman is going to try to impugn others for not doing particular things, we are going to impugn the Birdman for things he doesn't do, because turnabout is fair play. And maybe that'll make him understand why him asking for that is unreasonable.
Okay, but when you actually look at the context of the tweet alone, that actually just reads as if, like, dude, you're asking a dumb question with another dumb question. Now you're basically trying to apply, like, some level of logic
no,
to that.
Simon, I'm holding him to his same standard, and it's like because if we do, like, the Birdman looks bad under that standard. Like, you understand that, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't agree with like that whole logic of oh hey, it's like, hey, let's say
again, I don't agree with the logic either. I'm pointing out how it fails even under him, the one who's invoking the logic.
Okay, but again, I wouldn't really say that that's how that works either, because like I said, we're talking.
Yes, I agree. His own logic doesn't work. Yes, I agree.
Let him finish. Just let him finish. Sorry.
Like I said, the whole idea is that, again, he's talking about movies, and then you want to talk about a drama, like the whole drama, like for whatever. And what if he did? And like I said, this is where I'm kind of saying, what if he actually did do a video on it? He did do a video covering Noah. What more would he add to it?
Well, no, it's not a question of what more would he add to it, because again, like the framing here is. Okay, so what is it that makes you? Because like, would you say that there is would you say there's a meaningful qualitative difference between asking a media channel to review media and asking a grifter exposure channel to expose a particular grifter?
I mean, again, Birdman isn't just an exposure grifter channel either. He also does a bunch of other stuff as well. Like, I don't know, man. I think like the whole thing just comes off as like a form of like peer pressure tactic, which when you read the tweet, it can kind of come off as that. Like you're applying peer pressure tactic on him, but then Kino does the same thing as well by trying to say, oh, haha, I got you, hypocrite moment type of shit.
If you want me to, I can conclusively prove with numbers that Exposing the Grift is the most viewed series on the Birdman's channel, and it's not even close. Yeah, so that is nominally what he's known for. Because Mauler does other things, then you could, by this logic, say, oh, Mauler does other things than review movies. He does video games, and he talks about miscellaneous topics on a podcast. And Drinker does other things than cover movies. He talks about production.
I would actually argue that the like Birdman asking like Mauler to review Rogue Elements is even more unreasonable, because Mauler isn't known to review like short films or proof of concepts as
well. What Doth is saying in chat kind of brings up to it, if this is true, is Mauler and Little Platoon have said that they try to be objective and they won't review Drinker's film because they know they are unable to be entirely objective with it. They've made a statement why they won't.
Like, again,
but they have also made statements saying that it was pretty bad in live streams. So yeah.
So they've made statements saying it was pretty bad, but they refuse to review each other's movie. Like, so whatever. Like that whole point, I don't really care about. Like, because again, you could argue there would be like a conflict of interest because they're close and there would kind of like be hard to be objective, but you can still provide friendly criticism. Like constructive criticism despite being friends. Like,
right. But do you get the impression? Sorry, just because I need to not to linger on that too much. But do you get the impression that the tenor of the Birdman's tweet is he is earnestly hungry for a critique from Mauler of Drinker's review of Drinker's movie, or from Drinker towards Mauler's, or does he just want if Mauler made a video of Rogue Elements and just provided friendly criticism, do you think that the Birdman would be out there saying, "Oh, fair play, he covered it," or do you think it's more likely by far given the
He
general.
probably he would tear into him. That's
Okay,
for
yeah.
sure.
So we agree that that's like the first and last of this as well. We agree that the Birdman's request here is in bad faith, right? That this is not a good faith request.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I can also, but again, what you're saying, I will say, and again, we want to say like, oh, but Kino's using his own logic against him, whatever. I personally think that's kind of like a stupid way like to engage in a conversation, which is why I saw the Birdman's reply to Kino afterward, where he just basically started taking digs at his height. So, which again, I think is kind of a dumb way to engage in that. Like, let's be real. At that point, I would have preferred had he just responded to you saying, "Well, I've actually denounced Noah or whatever."
Well, to see this from Kino's perspective, though, this person, the Birdman, even absent Kino's history with him, in this interaction, if you're an impartial person observing this, you would be able to organically conclude that he is not a good faith actor on this occasion. So, what incentive is that?
But again, if you were and same thing could be said with Kino. If you were someone who was
No.
if you didn't know who Kino is, or don't know who Birdman is, or don't know any of the story behind that, people would look at that and say, "Bro, what the?"
Well,
fuck
that would just be poisoning the well, wouldn't it? That would just be. You're looking out that you're not looking at it within the proper context. You're saying, "Oh, like applied team sports mentality."
No, I'm not saying at it as a team sports mentality. I'm saying as an observer who doesn't know anything about you and Birdman, who doesn't know what your history is, and only casually watches one or the other, and that's it.
Okay. Let's
They don't
completely
know the context.
detach.
People like
Sorry.
Birdman, like they would look at your comment and say, "But what the fuck does that have to do with him criticizing a movie?"
Okay. Let's completely detach from this particular context for a moment and just think about this in abstraction, right? So let's say that there are three people, right? There's one person who's an observer and two people who are engaged in a conversation, right? Person one commences the conversation by saying the other person is a fucking idiot. That's their first statement in the conversation. That's the first thing they say. So they've clearly insulted the other person. And the other person says, "No, well, you're a fucking idiot." From the perspective, so that's person two says, "You're a fucking idiot." And then person three is watching this. Do you think that it is reasonable for person three to conclude that person one started this? He started the insult slinging.
The insult slinging, but here's the thing: the insult slinging wasn't started with Birdman either. It was started with freaking Mauler calling out whatever.
Okay, but Mola isn't in bad faith on this occasion because the other person is demonstrably saying something that could reasonably be called pathetic because the other person technically, actually, if you're gonna be super technical, the slinging here was started with that person who said that they wanted Critical Drinker to be wrong about Supergirl and were upset that that didn't happen because they have something against drinking.
Yeah, and
right?
at that point, people would also look at that tweet and just say, well, okay, they're just fucking shit posting or trolling at that point as well, because that's how I came off as well. And when I saw Drinker and Mueller replying to this, I was like, yeah, okay, you guys are fucking snowflakes and pussies.
I mean, you can think that, but like the reality is there is a
Yeah, there's a shit flinging contest going on. It's just people flinging shit at this point. But personally, like, again, you want to really get technical? I read it as if this person is taking the piss at that point.
Okay, so if I were to find more tweets from that person, do you think that I would find generally anti-drinker sentiment, or do you think I would find generally
if this is who I think it is, you'd probably find anti-drinker sentiment, but you also probably find a bunch of other stupid bullshit as well.
Okay, so my point is it is reasonable for Drinker and Mauler to look at this and determine that this person probably has some genuine opinion behind this. Like, they're not just saying this for no reason. They genuinely were hoping that, like, they want Critical Drinker to be wrong about these things because that's something they're invested in.
Yeah.
Okay, so Critical Drinker and Mauler are, you can say that they're pussies, but they are not in the wrong to take umbrage with that, yeah?
No, they're not in the wrong to take umbrage with that, but again, at that point, it's a pissing contest.
Sure, but like the point then would be we can set that aside, right? And now we have to actually look at the quality of the arguments. So person makes statement A, which is kind of preposterous. Mauler comes in and just basically says, "You're pathetic," which you could say that's an ad hom, whatever. Then Birdman comes in and tries to argue the case for why Mauler is not in a position to do this. And then Kino comes in and says, by your own logic, the Birdman, you're not in a position to do this. Which part of that response is illogical on the part of Kino?
On the part of Kino, like, I don't know, the fact that the whole fucking thing is illogical already. to begin with,
but-
because you're basically adding to a pissing contest on top of saying, oh, like Birdman's response, oh, why don't you criticize your friend's movie? And then Kino's response, why don't you criticize your other grifter? It's like, at the end of the day, I'm just going to be honest with you, it's a pissing match. Everybody looks like fucking morons.
I don't agree, because so like if you go back to that example of the three people arguing, if a fourth person comes along and says, I think that you guys arguing is fucking stupid, that's sensible, right? That person is being sensible.
Mm-hmm.
So Kino in this occasion would be that person who's telling the
I wouldn't agree with that, because Kino is basically adding another idiotic statement on top of a bunch of other idiotic statements.
I'm sorry. Can I?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Simon, like, you've already acknowledged that Birdman's statement is illogical and is utilizing bad faith. I am pointing out the bad faith. And so how am I being illogical?
Because because you're basically pointing out a bad faith with another bad faith at that point. Because again, like I said, he's already acknowledged it. Maybe it wasn't private. Maybe it wasn't that most people's liking. But again, he acknowledged it to some level of a degree. Like had he said nothing, absolutely nothing, whether it was like not even in his private Discord, then fine. Then I would say, yeah, okay, you have a point there. But the reality is, we already know that he denounced Noah. So it's like...
Yeah, okay, well, what I think they're trying to get at is that it doesn't matter. The statement itself doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter that no one really cares if Birdman made a statement or not. What they care about is he said it to show the hypocrisy of what Birdman is saying.
Mola. Yeah. Kino said it about the Birdman. And like, the thing is, again, I would say, like, we already know that Kino knows that Birdman made a statement about it in a Discord. So, like, Kino saying it here is clearly being, again, within the context of the tweet. It's pretty obvious that he's responding to the idea that Mola wouldn't make a review. And again, if you told the Birdman that Mola made statements about this, he wouldn't settle for those statements, such as they are. So, like, I just think that you're viewing this entire situation through, like, that Kino's purpose here is he wants to, like, provide an argument to, like, that the Birdman would find acceptable.
I see it more as him just trying to get a cheap dunk and trying to peer pressure to some extent, which I guess is what kind of Birdman was doing as well with Marler as too.
So, okay, that's fine. So we can actually take that interpretation. So the cheap dunk. I think we're all in agreement that the Birdman is deserving of a cheap dunk here when he's acting in blatant bad faith, yeah? So if someone wants to take a cheap shot, that's fair. And for two, peer pressure the Birdman. By the Birdman's own rules, if the Birdman's logic here is to be taken with integrity, then the Birdman ought to be peer pressured into this because he's not living up to his standard. So there's nothing wrong with peer pressuring him either. So Kino is completely in the right to do what he did.
Even though we know already that he had put out a statement regardless, so...
Well, but again, the statement here would be within the context of what the Birdman is asking for, which is a review, right? Kino isn't asking the Birdman whether or not he told his private community. By the way, what he told his private community, because I have the statement here, we can read it. Like, he didn't say that Noah was a grifter. He just said that he lied to him, which technical difference, but like, let's read it. You're all aware of the unfortunate situation with Oddly Noah. So first of all, he calls it an unfortunate situation, which is pretty fucking mitigating, but whatever. You might notice he is no longer here, and this is because I have permanently banned him. The issue came to my attention when Grimulio posted a tweet a couple days ago. I had no idea what was going on, and reached out to both Ant and Noah to gain some perspective. I spoke with Noah and asked him to tell me what his side of the story was. So first of all, second of all, in this instance, he learned about it from Anthony Grimulio, suggesting that he wasn't invested in any of the other situation until Anthony Grimulio brought it to his attention.
I'm going to stop you right there just real quick, let's be real. Some people were not just interested in certain things that goes on in their community. That's fair enough. He doesn't need to be interested in everything that goes on with people in his... But
he's also aware, he would also have to be aware that Noah already had a plagiarism drama because Anthony
again, who knows? Maybe he didn't know about that either because he wasn't invested in it, too busy going after people like fucking Drink or Nerdrotic or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So my point here is we can conclude from this that the Birdman is pretty selective with his targets and he doesn't seem to hawkishly watch what happens on his side of the fence. He's more invested in what happens on the other side.
Let's be real. who we all have people that we are very specific
I'm
with
not
who
saying
we
I
go
don't.
after as well. Kino is very much focused on Birdman.
Not really.
Wargaming is very much focused
My last video on him was months ago.
months ago. Yeah, it's like my last video on Rev was also months ago. And, I would consider myself hyper-focused as well to some extent. Like, let's be
Okay,
real.
sure.
We all have our
Okay.
selected targets that we like to go after. Okay? Like, let's get it
Yeah,
out of the
sure.
way.
But
Whatever.
the reason I wanted to emphasize that is because of the next piece of information that we learned. Given the little information that I had, so he could have found more information. He chose not to. At the time, he could have found more information, but he doesn't. So that's already a failing on his end. I would take him at his word because I had no reason to distrust him. Granted that I don't know Noah very well. Literally had to send him a friend request 3 days ago. So, moreover, he doesn't know anything about the plagiarism drama either. So the Birdman at this point is confessing to having been pretty much entirely misinformed. He's framing this as this is a lack of information on his end. My caveat was that if it later comes out that he lied to me, we would have a problem. I watched Eric's video, which proves he lied to me, so we have a problem. To be clear, I strongly condemn the actions taken by Oddly Noah. I don't agree, nor do I support that kind of behavior, period. I was made aware by some people that I, the Birdman, was going to make some kind of defense video for Noah, which is fucking news to me. Considering I'm the Birdman, that's not the kind of content I make in the first place. But second, the situation had nothing to do with me, and Noah is a grown-ass man who can speak for himself. So
Well, first,
he is explicit. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Just real quick, that's just even in that statement, that was a fucking lie. If you know about prior videos he's made where he has outright defended Noah, Eric Debunks, CHD from
That's true.
EFAP.
That is also
They covered
true.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he outright said that he was a friend of the channel, and there's a prior tweet of him saying, responding to a fan who said that, hey, you, including you, Birdman, including Arlie Noah, should form a group, and he acknowledges that and says, "Yeah, maybe we should."
I
Yeah,
have that.
I remember that. I was involved in that actually.
And I can't say that as an objective fact because I don't know every member who was involved, but Anthony Gramuglia and Eric Debunks, like they said very in their respective live streams covering the Noah drama, that Noah derailed a group that they were forming. I don't know if Birdman was specifically a part of that group, but I would not be surprised if he was.
If it's the one I'm
So,
thinking of, Birdman
what-
came in and said, basically he doesn't know any of the people, he doesn't interact with people he doesn't know. And like Noah he knew, but there was like other smaller content creators like me that were called in or were mentioned.
I mean, yeah, because I made a fucking meme post afterwards
So
responding
And
to
then-
that too.
And then, just to conclude the tweet, or the Discord post rather, I'm not the spokesperson of people who go after grifters. Stop looking to me for that reason. This is specifically why I am a lone wolf and almost never collaborate, because I do not want to have to answer for anyone's actions besides my own. So I'm no longer associating with Noah, and that's all I have to say about the topic. So him saying I am no longer associating with Noah is not so he has an explicit condemnation in there, but he doesn't go into what Noah did. So no one in his audience knows what Noah did, presumably, from this tweet. There is no mention of the people he did it to. There is no acknowledgement that these people, if Noah spreads misinformation, are actually the victims of this and entitled, if anything, to remuneration rather than more harassment. There is no acknowledgement that Noah framed somebody and that there is a victim out there called Deus Marionette. Let me finish, please. Please let me finish. There is no acknowledgement of Deus, who was explicitly used as a full person in this. So, as far as people in the Birdman's audience are concerned, when they see a Noah tweet saying, "Oh, I didn't do it, Deus Marionette did it," then they're going to have reason to believe, without other input, that that's what happened. And then, perhaps most importantly, the key, as much of this post is spent explaining why he feels he doesn't have an obligation to respond to this in any meaningful way, as is basically saying, if you look at this, the condemnation and the behavior here is one line of 20. That's it.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, but it's still a condemnation for one. And second, again, it's like he doesn't respond to it, but then he has already made it clear that he's aware of some of the shit Noah did. that's when, again, his audience, do you really think they're going to be stupid enough not to look it up now that he said something?
Yes,
Well,
most people's
maybe,
audiences are
maybe.
too stupid to look
Well,
it up.
Maybe.
Like,
no,
yeah,
no, sorry.
sometimes,
I actually,
sometimes,
you know what,
yeah,
sorry.
like sometimes, like at some point, like as well, you have to also remember, like, let's
You
be
know-
real. Sometimes if you say something, people in your audience kind of have to start doing their own research, and that little Google search bar on YouTube, utterly Noah, and you're going to get a bunch of fucking videos.
Did they do that for the first time during his first time with the plagiarism controversy? Well,
I mean,
no,
let's
they
be
didn't.
real.
Other people had to call
Let's
him
be
out
real,
again.
Kino. Let's be real, Kino. I was also in the freaking idea that maybe it was a missighting on his part. Maybe it was a sighting thing on his part. So
You actually never explained like.
And again, me and
what
Wargaming
go
gave him the
otherwise, but
benefit of
okay.
the doubt there on that as well. So let's be honest here,
Well, okay, let's be honest about another thing. Let's be honest about another thing really quick, sorry. When you say his audience, I'm not trying to be a pedant, but because it is actually critically important. This is not his audience. This is his Discord server, which is provably substantially smaller than his core audience on his YouTube channel, and even his follower base on Twitter. This is the most low-key possible communication method that he could share it on, and the response is still shit. So no, in any meaningful sense of the word, any sane person would not interpret this as a meaningful addressing of the drama. I'm sorry, that's simply preposterous.
But I'm not going to disagree that it's not in a meaningful way. I think he should say something more to that. But again, it's still an undressment of it, regardless. That he's still cutting ties with him one way or another.
Okay, so when people say something to the effect of saying nothing in this instance, do you think that they are literally asking for you said anything, or is it more likely by far that they are invoking the idea that you didn't do your due diligence as a content creator and didn't have a meaningful statement on this? Because the Bir3man to date does not have a meaningful statement on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So Kino isn't, and again, you can say that's not the literal read of the tweet, but most people aren't that literal. I would actually argue that more people are going to look at this saying, yeah, you didn't, if you told the average person, well, actually, this is what happened, yeah, they would still agree that he didn't really say anything. And even in here, he doesn't really say anything. He says, I don't like Noah. Fair enough, but he doesn't even explain what he's denouncing him for. He throws out a litany of other names who have covered the situation. He doesn't give his input on the situation. He doesn't say that these are the victims. Do not harass them. If you find any post from Noah, he's just saying, Noah lied to me, and I don't like that. That's pretty much what he's saying.
And FYI, before this, Bir3man actively shut down a conversation. Anthony confronting Noah in this server and said, "Hey, that's not the place for this."
Correct.
So
that's
where is that?
Yeah, but take it to DM. Take it to DMs. But again, let's be real, on a Discord server, you'd probably usually say that. Take this shit to DMs.
Yeah. So if all present agree that did happen, yeah. This is otherwise I can see if someone can find it, but yeah, ultimately, the reality here is, to me, this is plain as day. The Bir3man made a tweet saying something that is illogical and by his own rules, hypocritical. Kino points out, by your own rules, you're a hypocrite. If the rules are bad, that's on Bir3man. He set the rules. If the Bir3man is acting a hypocrite, that's on Bir3man. He's a hypocrite. And if what Kino said is nonsensical from anyone's perspective, then they can look to the Bir3man who established the logic.
Okay, but
Kino's logic.
But again, at that point, I think it's really just overthinking over a fucking pissing match at that point. So let's be real. It's kind of dumb one way or another.
Well, what do you think Kino's mindset was when he made this tweet?
I don't know. Maybe anyone who would have read this would have said you're just basically asking him a dumb idea, you're giving him a dumb excuse for another dumb thing. You're basically asking him something else or whatever. That's what some people would come to the conclusion to as well. And maybe you're being, huh?
Do you think that most people would come to that conclusion and that those people would be reasonable to come to that
conclusion? If you're
conclusion?
just looking at the drama and know nothing about these two, how are people supposed to be in Kino's mind? Some people will actually look at this and say, dude, are you being serious? You're basically asking him one oxymoron, one stupid thing for another stupid thing. It's especially on Twitter, man. If you're on Twitter and you're asking, why don't you cover Noah because and then it's the subject is related
okay.
to movie.
Here's what I think would happen if someone.
Okay, wait.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just real quick. Again, so this has been pointed out, Simon. Yes, Mahler and Critical Drinker, they prioritize movie reviews, but the Birdman prioritizes going after grifters. And so in that same area of content coverage, he's not doing the same thing. He's asking a Mahler and Critical Drinker. Like, do you understand?
Okay, yes, I understand, but at that point, that's not where we're getting at now from here on out. Now I'm basically getting at if the point is like what you said, how would people actually on Twitter be able to interpret it as you basically asking him, telling him to do something?
By reading Birdman's tweet.
By reading, but even then, you're basically telling him, oh, make a video on Otterly Noah. And then more because he said, oh, why don't you make a video on Drinker or his movie or Mahler's movie or whatever.
So to reread this, just to be clear, The Birdman. I guess when you're too chicken shit to review your friend's terrible movie.
Okay, no, that's not what. I already understood that part. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm just rereading it.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is, how are people supposed to know that Kino isn't being serious as well?
Well, no, Kino is being serious about calling out the Birdman's logic for being shit. That's why he says you can't say this.
Not calling out his logic, but saying, oh, you should actually make like a video on Otterly Noah as well.
But he's not, right?
But he's not. He's saying you specifically, verbatim from Kinoflex's tweet, you can't say this, the you operatively being the Birdman, and he can't say this while refusing provides an explanation that abides the logic of Birdman's tweet. So any reasonable person is going to look at this and see this is not Kino earnestly making this request of the Birdman. This is Kino telling the Birdman that he is in no position to make this criticism while having this own stain on him by his own logic. Even
though the criticism has nothing to do with the Noah drama and has to do with like the freaking Mahler movie reviewing Mahler, not reviewing his movie.
No, he doesn't even bring up Noah.
Yeah, it's his reputation. Yeah.
Well, again, disabled man. Like anybody who doesn't bring up Noah, disabled man, like for $100. Like, dude, we all know who you're talking about. Like, come on.
Well, here's just like a quick question. Like, do you think the criticism Anthony Gramiglia is receiving for his role, with Noah, is well deserved? Or no, because he acknowledged that he was a plagiarist and he acknowledged that he's a false flagger. Like that completely erases him giving him tips on how to address the initial plagiarism controversy. Anyone who criticizes him for that is unreasonable. Do you believe that?
Like what, people criticize him for giving him tips on how to address the plagiarism drama?
Yeah, by saying it was a citation issue.
Given the fact that he was under the impression that it was actually a citation issue, like me at that point, like, no, I do think it's kind of unreasonable that people would say that, because at the end of the day, he was also duped.
I don't think he was duped. Yeah, just so we're clear.
But veering off the subject.
Point is, like at this point, I think that the whole thing is kind of fucking stupid. I think it's a pissing match at this point. I can understand where you're coming from with this perspective. I just think the whole thing is fucking ridiculous at that point.
Sorry, but you can't expect me and Kino to be satisfied with you saying Kino is basically being as stupid as the Birdman here, when all that Kino is doing is pointing out that the Birdman is making a completely unreasonable demand and one that he himself does not uphold.
I mean, at that point, I'd say at this point, it's still the same thing at this point.
Well, how can you say that? They're provably not the same. We've just covered how they're not the same multiple times.
Whatever. Like I said, at this point, I'm just looking at this. I'm saying, like, why at this point? Just why?
Okay, I can explain the why.
You already explained the why. You already explained the why.
What more are you looking at?
The drama is kind of fucking stupid at that point.
Okay,
I understand.
Simon, how about this? If I had not made a tweet, would you have called out Birdman for his poor logic? In your own words.
Had you not made a tweet, I would probably not even seen his tweet. Oh, no, never mind. I actually did reply to it, so I would have seen his tweet. Not really.
Did you reply?
I mean,
I've not seen that reply.
I mean, good question. I have to actually go and look and see where it
because I
is.
actually don't.
Hold
know.
Hold up. Let me go find it. I think I actually pitched in just making fun of it as well. Like, let me check. Oh no, I replied regarding the whole fucking like appearance thing, and that was it. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. So,
Like, I just basically I basically just like added to the pissing
no,
contest.
that's fine if you just want to like shit on, like that Mola looks
Yeah,
like a truck
yeah,
motor or
yeah. The
something.
whole, yeah.
That's fine. with me.
That's all I
But,
added
like,
to it. That's all I added to it. Yeah.
But like my ultimate point here is again, the reason that like I'm being this insistent about not just letting this like be an agree to disagree situation, because I think that this is proof. Like you would agree that the Birdman saying this to Mola and Kinoflex in turn saying that to Birdman are like materially different, because the Birdman's comment makes no sense no matter how you slice it, but Kino's comment has a reading wherein it is completely sound and reasonable, even if that's not your reading of it at the time.
No.
Okay,
I
why
would
not?
like honestly, if you're actually giving it like more, like now that you're explaining it a little bit more to me, I kind of get what you're saying, but I don't agree with like the logic of one wrong with another wrong type of statement.
Well, hold on, but like, so if the other person is a hypocrite, how do you call them out for hypocrisy?
I mean, not by being a hypocrite yourself.
But he's not being a hypocrite.
How am I
He's
being a
pointing out the
hypocrite?
hypocrisy. Yeah, how is he hypocritical?
I mean, like I said, the fact that you're saying that he didn't say anything about Noah, which is already arguably not true. He did.
But that's not hypocrisy. I'm calling it like I've called Noah out. So how is me tweeting out how he hasn't called out Noah hypocrisy? Again, I made multiple videos and live streams on him.
Yeah,
I was the one that
and he made a straight statement on it as well. Granted, it's probably not the best statement in the world, and it's like, should have probably said something in private regardless. It's still a statement, whether we like it or not.
So
it's
I
still a
think
disavow.
it sounds like you're taking this argument from the idea that Kino is making a call to action, that Birdman needs to do
That's
this
what
thing.
I guess
But that's
you could
not
say it
what's
like that.
happening. Like, let's read the tweet. You can't say this while refusing to say anything about your friend, stealing from the people. Hold on.
But that friend,
False
okay,
flagging
friend.
people and trying to
Sorry
extort
to
and
cut you
disable
off. Sorry to cut you off, Gaming Dad again. But like, just to correct this a little bit, even if what Kino was doing was a call to action, he would still be reasonable. Because the Birdman has said that there's reason. The Birdman has set the precedent here that in the Birdman's mind, it is reasonable to make these calls to action. So that would still be completely fine for Kino to do to him, because the Birdman is through just basic inductive logic, setting up rules of engagement for what is fair. And this is something that he is implicitly saying is fair to demand of him. So even if it was a call to action, Kino would still be completely fine to do it.
Right, but that's not
this
what we're
wouldn't
talking
even have
about
to
right
be
here.
like a video necessarily.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even have to be a video necessarily. It'd just be like an addition, like a community post, a live stream appearance, etc. Like Simon, you objectively have done more to call out Noah than Birdman did, and you've admitted that you haven't even made a video.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have done something like equivalent to that.
Like at that point, like I will not disagree with you. Yeah, he should have he should actually make a public statement to some extent. So, okay, whatever, fine, I concede.
Okay.
All right, I concede. Fuck it.
Yeah. Like and like to be clear, like this isn't an exercise in me like purposefully trying to like bust.
No. I get it. I get it. It's fine, dude. Yeah. I get it.
But like ultimately, it's over a tweet, right? And like if you like.
It's okay. Problem... It's over a fucking pissing match. Let's just get that out of the way.
Sure. Like you again, like I don't think Kino actually he's also seeking to says like I don't think Kino's hope here was to be like, oh, I'm gonna change the world with this tweet. I think that just the Birdman said something silly and Kino wanted to be like, yeah, you said something really fucking stupid when you think about it for 2 seconds. Right, Kino?
Give me.
Yeah, I like it. At that point, yeah, I get it. It's like I get what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, and like for me and for Kino, it is like I'll fully admit my personal stakes and Kino's like the reason this is frustrating to us is because this is getting more into just like obviously we're past the debate now, right? But like the reason this is frustrating to us is because people will look at this who are like even in the Birdman's fan base, right, or who are more neutral and be like, this is just equivalently silly. put it to you this way, right? Let's say that you're at a kindergarten, right? You're one of the kindergartners there, and there's this one kid that's throwing shit all over the walls, right? And you're like playing with your toys and everything, and the teacher busts into the room and says, "You could all do a little better." And you just look at the guy who's throwing shit everywhere, right? And you're like, "Well, what the fuck do you mean, you all?" That one person is clearly doing something way dumber, right?
Okay. The analogy there doesn't really make much sense, but okay, whatever. I get it. I get it. I get it. Like the argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I guess like my last question to you, Simon, since you conceded, is like, do you think I'm being performative in wanting people to call out Noah, especially during now, since his latest controversy is pressuring a disabled man into giving him money, giving him his welfare money, despite presenting himself as a neurodivergent activist or figure?
On that, I wouldn't say you're performative on that. With what I've seen in the posts, that I wouldn't say you're performative.
Right. And this is like a stance I've been consistent with. Like I called him out. I actually called out Noah for staying silent during the John Davidson incident during the BAFTAs. I think he should have like said, "Hey, you shouldn't discriminate against people with Tourette's, even if they say something offensive, because they literally cannot control that." He stayed silent during that controversy, and I found that unacceptable.
Okay, that controversy I'm not aware of because I have no idea what that was. I don't think it was in
All you need to know is like the venue horrendously mishandled having a person with Tourette's in a venue. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, go watch the movie. I swear, very good.
I swear. Yeah.
But what the heck is that one?
It's
about a man with Tourette's.
So if we're going to recommend fucking movies at that point, what the fuck was it called? Was it Ben X? The movie?
What's it about?
About autism, actually. Bullying autism. Yeah, Ben X. There we go.
Okay.
2007. You want to watch, like, I do a little bit of a warning though, trigger warnings. It does cover like bullying and as well as suicide to some extent. It is a good movie though. It is a relatively good movie.
All right, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving back to like the debate, I guess. Should we give closing thoughts, or is there anything else we need to delve into?
Nah, I think we're good on this at this point. Like, wasn't really much more to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
If you all got okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Interesting conversation all around. I'll say y'all are at least politer than it was with Vincent and Templeton. I didn't have to do much moderation there. Y'all kind of did it on your own.
I was coming this. Yeah.
Who do you prefer, me or Morale?
Ooh.
Or Morale, I should say.
Like, who do I prefer, you or Morale? I'd say I prefer you over Morale any day of the week, to be honest.
Morale is the
Noah would too.
I was gonna say Morale is the complicated anti-hero of the Noah drama. Okay.
Morale is just a doofus at that point. I'm sorry.
I mean, he got some good stuff out of Noah when he went in there for all of his normal spurgery.
Like, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I'm not going to disagree with you. When Morale is not acting like a complete other fucking dickhead, like, yeah, he can actually be, like, get some good points out.
Well, Future said this to us, and like Mrao is a snarker, I think is the term for it. He just says shit to piss people off. That's like kind of his deal to an extent. He will like make cogent points, but then he will like he'll just like be very braggadocious, to use it.
But here's the thing with snarkers: eventually it comes to bite them in the ass. Eventually,
true, yeah.
Well, he's got his ass bitten a few times.
I know. I've seen footage.
Yeah. Like I still like have the idea because like after Noah like thought that he was earnestly reaching out to him in that like second dick is cool, that like he has this corkboard of all of the relationships and the drama on the wall. It's like fucking Kinoflex gaslight as Simon traitor, and then he has Morale as both pedophile and greatest ally, but he's confused which one it is.
Are you talking about when he came on in the stream with Dickers during the whole?
Yeah. It was like, we'll watch Atlantis
during the flagging thing.
Yeah, he was like, we'll watch Atlantis together. And was like, oh, I like watching movies. Yeah, we can watch a movie together.
That was during the flagging thing, or what?
The flagging, the flagging stream. It was kind of the after show when like Noah was just there for like kind of no reason, and Brow was let in, and he said that he wants to take Noah under his wing. that
was so funny.
I mean, I remember. I kind of like I said, I remember that because Noah was like jumping in call, like he jumped in a call with me temporarily. As soon as Morale jumped in, like I said, the minute that Morale jumped in and he left, he basically jumped into a call with me for comfort and to tell me what was going on for me to like coddle him. So I was like, oh my god, dude, fucking
Damage
serious?
Sector is calling y'all out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sector. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You go.
Yeah, so Simon talks with two men online, and one asks which one Simon would prefer. This is not how I thought the debate would end.
It's okay to be gay.
Yeah,
I'll say.
To be fair as well, like it's like if you just to be completely fair to Simon's position, right? It's like if the contention is like Kino and I, if we're ever, well, I just don't interact with him, but like if for whatever reason you ask Kino and I anything about the Birdman, we think he is like a degenerate piece of shit, but that's like for personal reasons. And we can substantiate why. So,
like I've heard some stories regarding like Birdman and Kino's beef to some extent from Noah. If Kino wants to go more into detail at some point about that, like in DMs or something, he's more than welcome to tell me.
I mean, I'm more than willing to stream that content. I'll say with the Birdman I've watched a few of his videos, and agreed with some of them, and I've watched some on stream. I've always had a lot of disagreements with him, and it's kind of like, where I don't like him, especially when he's calling everyone racist and stuff like that. But seeing this Kinoflex shit where he's throwing his face all over the internet and things, yeah, that's kind of like put him.
It's not even the worst of it, if you can believe that.
I believe it
to some extent. I'll be honest with you. I don't really I kind of agree more with Birdman as I do with some of Kino's takes and whatever. But even then, now and then, he will say shit that I disagree with. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Do you agree with lawsuit threats?
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
We're not getting too much into it.
Yeah, and that was the stuff that Noah told me.
Yeah. Well, so, why Noah told you that? He plagiarized that from me. I told Noah.
Yeah, I know. You told Noah.
Another victim. Jan's the victim now. The Noah drama was the point of the Noah drama was the point of the art. So many people were involved. It was insane. I will say, the positives that have come out of Noah being an absolute fucking freak has been I've met a lot of cool people that agree and don't agree with me.
I mean, same thing here to some extent. Hey, I never thought I'd actually be somewhat talking with Kino civilly ever, even though I heavily disagree with him.
I didn't know much about Kino from before this.
I knew a few things, but I didn't know much either.
Yeah. Oh, well, Wargaming Dad, did you see that fan art in Feed the Pig I put in? Oh yeah, I still love that. I still love that fan art. It's awesome. It's from Lizzie and Dicker's community. Yeah.
Neat.
And Davis apparently as well. She said so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Open. Copy media link.
I like that I look perpetually pissed at the world. It reflects my mind.
Yeah.
That drama.
I like that I'm grinning like a retard in the back.
It looks like I'm telling Kino, we're gonna have to kill this guy.
Yeah. It's not the people that Noah abused. It's the friends we met along the way.
Yeah. In a way, I also don't think I probably would have because This is like maybe a thing for another day, but yeah, it's the first thing, the first domino of Kino meeting Noah was me wanting to fucking talk to Simon and not him, but he was like, "Oh, you got to talk to me. Maybe you." And then it was so funny because at the end of it, it was like, "Oh, maybe you should talk to Simon about that." I was like, "Yeah, you think?" That's why I fucking said that I would like to talk to Simon about it, bro.
I'm trying to remember what was that regarding you want to talk about.
It was something Drinker said. Like that Drinker said. I would have to pull up the video. It was in Callisto's video. But it was the point was basically Drinker saying that the old Star Wars movies are like
Hold up. Jasmine just sent me something.
oh
Well, he can keep talking.
no, I need to no, just kidding.
No, hold on.
You talking is distracting him.
Keep on going. I'll put in
My fucking time. No, sorry. Yeah, it was basically Drinker like said that Disney like the sequels are like more like flawed but like relatively beloved compared to the prequels compared to the sequels. And I think you made the point that like there was a lot of prequel hate at the time that they came out, which I would actually agree with. I think that is nominally true, but like in the way that it is being invoked as a point of comparison, I still think that the prequels are relatively beloved compared to the sequels, and I think the proof is in the pudding, insofar as like how much they are still referenced in modern Star Wars.
Here's the thing. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I personally prefer kind of like the prequel movies, like whether it was like
Me too.
whether it was the
Me three.
Phantom, was it the Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Like I said, to say that they were not like heavily criticized when they came out is just an absolute line. To say that they're by any means like perfect movies or masterpieces like the original is also just like not true.
Well, to be slightly fair to the claim of like, so masterpieces is a stretch, and I don't think that he made that claim, but they were beloved at the time. That is, as far as I'm aware, that is actually true. Like they were pretty. I don't know. I actually don't remember critically. They were relatively liked. I would say beloved might be pushing it, but they were very well liked.
That's funny because that's not what most Star Wars fans would say. Because a lot of people back in the day, like Star Wars fans, did not like the Phantom Menace when it came out. Like my mother was a big, massive, like Trekkie and Star Wars nerd, and she actually not only watched the movies, she read the fucking books as well.
Well, Sam, would you say that Star Wars fans and general audiences can be two distinct groups?
Yes.
True.
But if you're looking at it from like a general audience standpoint who had no idea what the hell the Star Wars movie were and we're just looking at it like maybe you could make the argument that they were better received, the prequel movies. But from like the Star Wars fan base, not so much.
That's true. Like I think the diehard fans were always there, but like what I was gonna say is from the perspective of casual fans and casual audiences, certainly, like the cultural footprint they had was still enormous. And I think it really took until the Mr. Plinkett reviews from RLM that like general sentiment started to turn against them. Because Phantom Menace has a lot of problems, but it does two things very well, which is it starts off with like a strong set piece and it ends with a really strong set piece. Or I guess it doesn't technically end with the duel of the fates, but that's like the most significant thing people remember. Like nobody remembers the fucking celebration at Naboo after, right?
By the way, Wargaming, did you actually share what Jasmine sent to me? I sent it
not yet.
There it is.
Yeah, I will say that I'm sad that I'm surrounded by people who are just really fucking wrong. The first trilogy will always be the best, but I do agree. Like it was trilogy. Excuse me, the first trilogy.
They are the best. Yeah. No. But actually, I find it so funny. Sorry, did you say that? I find it so funny that people say that, like, because whatever I like criticize the sequels, a bit like, oh, you're just a Star Wars fan, but it's like I think there's 2.5 good movies of the lot. Okay, it's just so clear. Like,
Clone Wars cartoons was good. Well, I think what I like about like what the prequels did is a lot of the fighting styles and things like that were very well planned out, something that hasn't happened in
The
the more recent
choreography,
movies.
yeah.
The choreography. And they started to write a lot of that into books and everything like that. Like
Yeah.
she mentions the Clone Wars. It's a lot more talked about their fighting styles and things like that. And my favorite
let's be real, the Clone Wars is basically what was the massive, like, what really probably like made the prequel movies more beloved in hindsight and retrospective than the prequel movies themselves would have ever done on their own.
I
fuck
think
is this?
because I don't know, but I think Kino and I would both say. Actually, I don't know if I asked you as Kino. Would you also say that Andor is the best Star Wars thing since Empire that's been made?
I haven't watched Andor, so I couldn't really
Andor
say.
is good, and it's more like Star Wars than some of the other stuff that has come out, I would say.
Fun fact:
this might piss off backseater. That's the thing. Like, I consider like the expanded. I just consider like the expanded source material, like the books too. Like Thrawn, the book. I would say that's Outskirts Empire.
Yeah, that's fair. Like,
they completely fucked up his. They completely fucked up his on-screen appearance.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Fun fact: I actually when I remember going to watch the Rogue One movie back when it came out with my mother. My mother fucking hated it, but I loved it. But then we went and watched the final movie of the sequel trilogy, and for whatever reason, she liked it.
If you watch the, go ahead. Sorry, you go ahead.
You know what my favorite scene in movie history is, like the Star Wars history is? Maul versus Obi-Wan, the last scene. I think that's like the best scene that's ever happened.
Not Luke Skywalker drinking the alien tit milk. That's not your favorite scene.
Well, that comes in a close second to last.
I am going to fucking shoot Amazon.
Oh, what happened? In a video game, in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Well, Amazon isn't a person.
It's true. They are a company.
No, yeah,
they
true.
shouldn't be treated like people either. Here we go.
He's gonna shoot Amazon with negative reviews.
There you go, but not in the brigading way.
Nah. I mean, here's someone who's shot brigaded a couple of times, like, nah, not my style.
But the thing that I was gonna say about Rogue One is if you liked Rogue One, I think you would genuinely really like Andor, and Andor genuinely elevates Rogue One a lot for me. Certainly the payoff with Cassian killing Krennic means a hell of a lot more after you watch the show. But with Rogue One is such a weird project because Tony Gilroy got to write like the latter half of it, I think, and it really shows in the writing quality. Because I think pretty much everyone would agree the final act, like Act 3 of Rogue One, is phenomenal, but the first two are difficult to get through it, especially Act 1. Act 1 of that is like so rough in like how like we need Jyn to get the MacGuffin for some reason, like the plans, and like you don't have any time with any of the characters really. It's like it's rough.
Like I'm actually genuinely getting pissed off with KDP at the moment because I recently made one tiny little change for my freaking keywords for it, and for whatever fucking reason, Amazon is telling me that, oh, well, there's actually a formatting issue with your bleed on one specific page, which is an illustration page, which they previously approved. There was no issue originally with it. And now they're telling me, well, actually, you need to go and reformat and whatever. Bitch, it's the same fucking manuscript.
Take them down. Sue the whole company.
Just went in and changed a keyword. What do you mean that there's like a fucking like 3.2 millimeter that needs to be added to the width? Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I got to make a retraction. I was thinking when you said Andor, I was thinking of Rogue One. I have actually not watched Andor yet,
Oh,
surprisingly. I
it's
keep,
really good.
yeah,
It's really good.
Grizzle, who's one of my mods and friends who comes in, he's been trying to get me to watch it forever. And it's not that I don't want to. Like I do believe it's pretty good. I
Uh,
just haven't watched Star Wars stuff in a while.
if you can get past the fact that it's very well, this is the funny thing about Andor. I have like a theory about it. I think if Andor came out after Empire, like somehow through time transposition, it was the next thing that came out of Star Wars was just like a cable network show called Andor after Empire Strikes Back, many people would accept it, or many more people would accept it,
Yeah.
because I think the original trilogy and even the prequels had a particular tone for Star Wars, which I don't think really exists anymore. They were a lot more grounded in certain. Not saying this about the prequels that they were grounded. Like, don't get me wrong. You have Yoda death flips, absolutely. But that was actually. I remember when, and that's to Simon's point. Like, I remember when that was a point of criticism about the prequels that they're too cartoony and silly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now even the prequels look pretty gritty by comparison to what's coming out. So
Yeah, true.
yeah. Yeah. And then a lot of I always find it one thing that frustrates me is like, because obviously I'll table the Ray discussion for now, because that'd be another thing that would I imagine incense the panel. But
I was going to
I
ask
find it
you
really
about
fun-
the rape scene, but
Oh no, the Ray,
oh,
not the
Ray.
Ray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I was
yeah.
gonna. I think. I think a lot of people make the point about like Luke retroactively that like Luke was kind of a Mary Sue. Was Luke wins 0 fights in the original trilogy, really, against like other opponents. He like beats Vader kind of because he's holding back. So I guess that's like a half point. And then he loses to Vader. He loses to the Emperor. He fucking loses to Jabba. Like
He does nothing but struggle through the trilogy. Yeah, I've seen people try and make that
Yeah.
argument that he was also a Mary Sue, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
not compared to like not even in a little bit of a sense.
Yeah.
Compared to the girl who could magically do one of the hardest force powers out
personally,
there.
I think that the real Mary Sue is Palpatine because he always somehow returns.
What's so funny about that is I absolutely like of the expanded universe, the old stuff, I absolutely hate the comic book where they brought him back and made Luke go evil. I think it just kind of like it's bringing back Palpatine was like the worst. And I was talking with a friend about it, and then shortly after that, the trailer came out for the third one with Palpatine's voice. And my buddy was like, so, what do you think? And I was like, I fucking hate it. I don't even think I'm going to watch it. Watch
It's
it.
such a fundamentally stupid idea.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get over it. And it's... Because all of this is like... What makes it all the more sad is if you watch the first 30, like half an hour of The Force Awakens, there is a setup there for a really interesting story with some really cool characters. But then immediately they start trotting out the member berries, and it's like, oh, that's what this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Finn could have been a very great character, especially as a stormtrooper, since they've never received any sort of characterization or humanization for that matter in these films. But no, he just has zero. He goes from a stormtrooper to just a regular person who just treats his fellow stormtrooper brethren as NPCs.
Yeah.
They kind of maintain it for the first movie. They try to a little bit, but like by the second movie, like Finn's got jokes. Like, what? Why?
Yeah, he's just like a token.
Shouldn't he be the serious, like, more like stern soldier type between them? I don't know.
Well, there were other things like whether you like what's his face or not as the bad guy. I thought the Knights of
Snoke?
Ren was like Snoke
Kylo
too.
Ren,
Snoke could be
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah. Like Snoke I thought was an interesting idea. Oh, look, it's a new bad guy, and then they immediately kill him off, and I was like, okay. And then I really like the idea of these Knights of Ren, right? If you want to go with the whole falling of Luke, sure, whatever. But there's this idea of these guys, and they did absolutely fucking nothing with them.
Yeah. People have made this point before many times, where it's like the squandered potential isn't like, why did it have to be pretty much the Empire again? Why couldn't it have been, oh, the Republic is now in charge, or like the whatever, like the successor state to the Galactic Empire, and there's like these effectively like insurgents, like, or like Imperial loyalists that you have to deal with instead. And it's like it's like more of a, or maybe there's like a civil war going on in the Republic versus like, trying to follow the example of the first, or like this completely new direction, and maybe one of them is more like a police state because they're like, we can't let this happen again under any circumstances. That was like the failing of the old regime. And it's like, man, so many cool ideas, none of them realized. It's kind of insane.
Yeah,
Like,
it was fucking. It's so much that could have been done with it, and
yeah. Yeah, and like and then Ray, because people like with the Mercy, like the thing that I've repeatedly said about Ray, she's like a scavenger, survivalist, roguish like archetype. Fucking have a pocket sander guy. Holy fuck! Why is the combat so boring? She just hits people with a stick.
yeah, and instantly wins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it could have gone so much better, so much different. They're supposed to be set up with their family and all of this other stuff, and it's like, okay, we've got threads that they're drawing, but they again don't do anything with it or say that she's a Palpatine. I was like, please don't say she's Palpatine, right?
Has anyone here seen the Genndy Tartakovsky like cartoon film, Clone Wars? That one's really good as well, actually. That might be a contender with Andor for the best thing since Empire.
What's funny about like those cartoons and the Clone Wars is a lot of people really hated Ahsoka, but she's actually generally one of my favorite characters. I think
Since when did people hate Ahsoka?
People hated her when she first came out. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, she started when she was in the first movies, when she came out in the Clone Wars, she was very obnoxious. Not listening, not doing anything else like that.
I mean, isn't that technically what the fuck Anakin was as well?
Yeah, and people hated Anakin too.
People hated Anakin as well, but that was kind of like the point, I guess. That was kind of the point.
I think the problem with Anakin, and so briefly on Ahsoka, I actually think Ahsoka is at her best in Clone Wars. I think that was her most interesting thing, and unfortunately, she's been flanderized thoroughly in her more recent outings. I think as a concept, she kind of works. I think it's difficult to make her work as Anakin's Padawan lore-wise, but like whatever. If she was like really good, people would be prepared to make the concession. But her stock has unfortunately been tanked by a lot of the subsequent things.
Yeah.
As for Anakin, like, yeah, he is supposed to be like a cavalier, devil-may-care Jedi. But I think when people think of that, they think of that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Shit, not enough. It's not a big deal. I forgot to do something on my manuscript. Fuck.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of people, when they think about that, they think more like, this is gonna sound really weird to say, but they think of him as being more cool, less of a whiny bitch.
So before
they're
before
thinking
the
more
prequels,
Han. They're thinking more Han, but like, a Jedi.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, that's what they were going for. But like when I like the picture in my head, of course, because when you're a fan, you have a particular picture in your head before the prequels came out. Was he's talked about as being this great general and all these other things, and I expected, I guess, more to it. Like you think of like an older man. If I remember right, the original like idea of him is he was supposed to be a more older man than he was in the prequels, but Lucas changed it. So like seeing him suddenly go to this like crying, obnoxious kid was a little discerning to me. But I look back on it and it's still decent compared to what I wish it would have been.
There are some scenes in not the like in the prequel animated material, both the Clone Wars movie and the Clone Wars show, that come close to him working, I think. But they just never managed to, like, I guess, blend. And yeah, I agree. Like, by Revenge of the Sith, he should have been older. I think like it would have been fine to have him. It's like because the idea is supposed to be the Clone War was also too short, I think, for what they went. Like the idea was he's supposed to be this initially naive like aspirant who cares about people who's like slowly changed through like war and tragedy. And like I guess the rationalization was like war makes people grow up fast, but then the like the whole the payoff feels kind of stunted when it's just like, okay, well he's still pretty much just like a young adult who's impulsive. And it makes you wonder, like, would have been more interesting if they did him a little bit differently, I think.
Yeah, I think it would have made the stuff like the Jedi turning kind of against him in a way, and Palpatine talking him into it more interesting. It would have seemed, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have been more interesting. Like the personal Padme stakes is fine, but like have it like backed up with like I've lived through where following these archaic rules leads, and it's a lot of people dying in a war. So like I'm more inclined to bend the rules.
Yeah.
Which they do a little bit in the Clone Wars show. Like the problem is, and this is just I think that's an unfortunate reality of the time scale of that, which is like it's between episode 2 and 3. It's like he can't really get any super serious consequence. Like he can't be like thrown out of the order or anything. It's like because he does kind of casually kill people in that when you shouldn't, obviously. But he's not able to be really given repercussions for that, I think.
Yeah, I agree. There were scenes where they were like trying to show off more of his dark side, but they didn't necessarily hit in the Clone Wars. I mean, some of them were okay, but it seems like they could have done more on it, like the circumstances of war, which they did. Like they do try and do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just a lot of times it defaults into him saying something harsh and the Imperial March cue like leitmotif playing in the background. It's like sure, I guess.
Like, yes, we know who he is.
I get it. He is Vader. He is Vader. Yes, he Vadered.
All right. I'm gonna have to get going. Wargaming Dad. Thanks for having me on, so we could discuss this disagreement civilly.
No problem. It was actually fun talking with you, by the way, Kino.
Yeah. Same here. I appreciate a gentleman's debate.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's good to have you on, Kino. Probably gonna go ahead and get off now. It's almost 1:00, and I'm an old man. I gotta sleep.
It's almost 2 where I'm at. Yeah.
People, man, it's past nap time.
So
Jan, next time I see you, will probably be on a live stream where I'll be celebrating 5K subs.
Yeah,
nice. Congratulations.
Next week I'll be
Congratulations.
Driving a long way tomorrow and most of Sunday, but that's why I had to rearrange it, by the way. So, which, by the way, thanks for accommodating me to all present. But next week we should absolutely do something. Yeah.
All right. Later, guys.
Right. Y'all have a wonderful day, guys.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye. Nice chatting with you all.
Bye.
I'll hop off as well. Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
Likewise.
All right. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like the stream. Helps me out massively. I got to get Kino's at 5K. I got to get to 5K too, so he can't push me around. If you like the stream, go ahead or then hit the subscribe button, and we will see you tomorrow, actually, where we'll look over some of this stuff. All right. Well, I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow, but we're going to find something. So y'all have a wonderful night, guys.